On campus at Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland, the Bears' final home game of the season, hosting the Delaware State Hornets, who are riding a 2-game win streak. It's Morgan State and Delaware State, the MEAC College Football Game of the Week on the Sports Fever Television Network. Hi, everyone. Great to see you. Phil Shaner alongside the czar of the playbook, Emery Hunt. Delaware State coming off one of their best defensive performances in years last week with a win over Savannah State. They're getting outstanding play from their linebacker, Brian Cavalcante.
And you talk about a senior that's been outstanding all season long for them, has really stepped up into that leadership role, and he's a guy that does a great job on both ends of defense. He's a sophomore, but definitely has a lot more football left, a lot of great football left in this game.
Leads the MEAC in tackles. For Morgan State, they nearly came back to beat Bethune-Cookman. They found their passing game. They found a new quarterback in DJ Galat.
Galat has an opportunity ahead of him in this ball game and further down the line, because if he can bring balance to this offense, it really opens up things completely for Morgan State. They have the running game. Can he get the passing game in the match? It's going to be key if Galat can have a big day.
It's the Bears and the Hornets. Morgan State one more shot at a home victory this season. Delaware State looking to snap a 27-game road losing streak. It's the MEAC College Football Game of the Week on the Sports Fever Television Network, and it's next from Baltimore, Maryland. Busters and Walters relocations. U Stadium, very windy and chilly November day. Let's head down to the field to our third member of our broadcast team, Jeff Jajeski. Jeff?
Thank you, Phil. Coach Rod Milstead said earlier this week, he said, even though we're on a 2-game winning streak here after an 0-7 start, we're working just as hard, and we've been working the same amount since week 1. He said we're finally just starting to see the fruits of our labor. Our team is starting to trust each other and trust themselves to come away with victories, and we're really hoping that we can continue this nice ride here in the final 2 weeks of the regular season. Phil?
Well, the Hornets have won back-to-back games for the first time since 2013. A win last week over Savannah State, and 2 weeks ago, a win over North Carolina Central. 28-13 for Coach Milstead in his first season. Of course, he was an All-American offensive lineman at Delaware State before his National Football League career. First year as head coach, and we had Delaware State against Howard a few weeks ago on the Sports Fever Television Network, Emery, and we were impressed with the way they played in that game. In the second half, we saw that they are a team that Coach Milstead is going to turn around in a program.
Well, you talk about it starting up front along the offensive line. As a former offensive lineman himself, he understands that, has done a great job in solidifying the front five, and also with recruiting. Recruiting is key in college football, and he's already hit the ground running on the foundation this year and also for next year and beyond, because that's how you're going to build a program. That's how you're going to get this program back to where they want it to be. So he's done a great job, and it's starting to show itself on the field in these last 2 games.
Morgan State 2-7, 1-4 in the MEAC. Last week, almost had a come-from-behind win over Bethune-Cookman, but lost that game 30-28. Wins over Savannah State and North Carolina A&T for Morgan State. And we're underway of our MEAC College Football Game of the Week on the Sports Fever Television Network. And a short kick taken at the 34-yard line, and that's where, after Brian Dallas on the return, a short 3-yard return, and that's where the Hornets will have the football to start things for Jack McDaniels, the quarterback who's taken over, making his 4th consecutive start. The sophomore has done great things, and of course, as far as running the football, they are number 2 in the MEAC with Aline and Dallas and Chris Ike and Waters, a host of running backs. As you take a look at the Delaware State offense, a couple of good wide receivers as well. Trey Gross, and this offensive line has done a nice job for the Hornets. So a 1st and 10 for McDaniels from the 36. Gives to Aline, bounces off a tackle, heads to the outside, being chased by Whitaker, and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. Rico Kennedy in on the stop.
You already see right there the best linebacking core in the MEAC, all in on those tackles.
No question about it. We look at this starting defense for Morgan State. McBurrow, the linebacker, 65 tackles. Whitaker, 75. And Kennedy, 52. They get a lot of production from the linebackers. The secondary pretty well good as well. Small with 4 interceptions this year. 2nd and 10 for the Hornets. Daniels will run and falls and loses 2 yards. Rico Kennedy standing in front of him. 2-yard loss. Rico Kennedy there to make the stop.
Again, those linebackers, you have 3 guys that are all athletic, they're aggressive, and they're able to make plays going sideline to sideline. Good job by Rico Kennedy playing the block off and then getting in there and making that stop. So the first 2 plays of the game for Morgan State, their linebacking core has already made their presence felt in this matchup.
3-yard loss, 3rd down and 13. Morgan State very good defensively on 3rd downs. Delaware State just 26% on 3rd downs. 3rd and long for them. McDaniels goes to the air, was looking for Trey Gross, and incomplete. The 4th down and punting situation coming up as Small was on the coverage of Gross.
Yeah, good job right there by the sophomore Dante Small. You saw pre-snap how much Morgan State respects not just the passing game, but the wind in this ball game, because you saw no safeties back deep. They were up close on the line of scrimmage. They're playing press on the outside, daring Delaware State to make plays down the field. In this wind, going against the wind, I don't think that's going to happen as often as we like to see it today, but that's why the defense was able to get off the field on 3rd down right there, because of the stop and the trust in the wind against his passing game.
Romo Martinez will punt the football away for Delaware State. Will King back to receive the punt from Morgan State. On this 4th down, just underway, a MEAC Game of the Week on the Sports Fever Television Network. 2 teams with 2 wins apiece. Ball takes a bounce. William King will pick it up at the 19-yard line, and he's off on the return. 8-yard return for William King. And we'll get a look at the Morgan State offense, now led by DJ Galat, quarterback. Last week, 257 yards and 3 touchdowns in the near come-from-behind win over Bethune-Cookman. Here's the rest of the Morgan State offense. Joshua Chase at that running back position has done a nice job. And Bailey had a big game last week at the wide receiver position, 129 yards and 5 catches. And then the trench mob, the offensive line led by new offensive line coach Williams, doing a good job with that trench mob, trying to have some protection for DJ Galat. So a 1st and 10 for the Morgan State Bears. And the handoff straight ahead to Chase. Smith makes the stop for Delaware State after a gain of 3. Take a look at the Delaware State defense. They have struggled at times, but trying to improve. It's going on. They get a lot of great play from their linebackers as well. We talked about Brian Kevakante, who's number 1 in the MEAC in tackles for a loss. And a pass incomplete. Galat looking for Poland. Incomplete. Polian couldn't hold on to it. Polian with 4 catches this season, the redshirt junior from Illinois. There is Ernest T. Jones in his first year as head coach. Morgan State, 2 wins this season. Would like to get his first win at home. They have not won at home this season. In their last opportunity this season, it's the last home game for the Bears here at Hughes Stadium. Galat on a 3rd down. Fires and has the completion. Big catch by Corey Holmes. The Notre Dame transfer grabs the catch. That's his 27th catch of the season and a 1st down for the Bears.
And that was nearly intercepted right there. He barely got that ball through the defender's hands, but great job by Corey Holmes to maintain concentration. See right there, the defensive back nearly had that interception, but to scoop that ball up and pick up the 1st down.
So a 1st and 10 for the Morgan State Bears after the 1st down catch by Corey Holmes. Galat's going to throw in the wind. Goes far sideline by the Delaware State sidelines, and incomplete, and a penalty marker is down.
They're going to get Selby for pass interference. He's a good corner, but he has to turn around and look back for the football on that one. We talked about him before and how good of a cover corner he is and how great his ball skills are, but in that play, he just didn't turn around.
Pass interference on Selby.
We had the Howard game against Delaware State, and Selby caught the interception and got injured. So he's in great position. Just has to turn around earlier and look back for the football. Otherwise, a good job right there by Selby. But again, little things that you have to make sure you're on top of when you're out there playing defense.
So the Bears working in Hornet territory with a 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line after the pass interference by Selby. Selby's twin brother is a wide receiver on the offensive side for the Hornets. See the Selby brothers walking around the campus in Dover, Delaware. Hard to recognize them. They are identical twins.
I wonder if Kewan Selby feels as though he has better hands than his brother, the receiver on the team. That's a discussion that we should be privy to. Because I like the hands of Kewan Selby at the corner.
Troy Singleton, our referee, on the headset, talking upstairs to the replay booth. Maybe checking the spot or maybe a timing issue. Just underway, 12-17 to go, first quarter. No score between Morgan State and Delaware State. Delaware State trying to win 3 games in a row. There's a look at the play. The penalty marker comes in on the pass attempt to Corey Holmes, and Selby on coverage.
I mean, it was great coverage. And Selby actually almost caught that football too, but if he turns around a little bit earlier, they don't call that flag. Or that penalty, I'm sorry.
They're still discussing on the sideline. Galat last week came in, 3 touchdowns, was sacked 6 times, but looked good. 19 of 39 a week ago. From Riverdale Baptist High School out of the state of Maryland.
After the penalty, it's 1st and 10 for Morgan State at the Delaware State 41-yard line.
So a 1st and 10 for Morgan State. Well, the Delaware State 41. Galat the shotgun. Wants the football, hands it off to Chase. Chase has a hole with running room. 15-yard pickup for Chase down to the 35-yard line. Good run there by Joshua Chase, and Ernest T. Jones wants to run the football, but last week they were down, they had to throw the football, had some success, but I'm sure that Joshua Chase can get that running game going, has a couple of 100-yard games.
Watch the kick-out block on the outside, Phil. Did a great job of clearing space, allowing Chase to run the football.
16-yard pickup for Chase on the run. Galat under pressure, and he's sacked. Brought down at the 35-yard line. Loss of 10 yards on the sack. That's the 10th sack of the season for this Delaware State defense.
It's a great job right there by Jason Smith, the graduate, 6'3", 295, getting inside, flushing the quarterback off his spot. Just fight through that block there and getting on the sack. And the previous play, when you talk about running weak side, that says a lot about their left tackle, Josh Miles. Did a great job on that block, opening up holes for Chase.
2nd and 18 for Morgan State. Galat going to keep it himself, gets hit hard at the 28-yard line, and down he goes. 5-yard pickup. 3rd down coming up for the Bears.
It's a good read right there, but great defensive play by Jihad Newbire. Did a great job right there in making that one-on-one play in space, and makes it a 3rd and long situation. If you're Delaware State, you want to get off the field right here. I don't think kicking will be a good thing today for either kicker, no matter how long you can make a field goal.
Winds gusting at over 40 miles an hour here in Baltimore. 29% on 3rd down for the Bears, and a big 3rd down and long and 14 for them. Galat fires, incomplete. Ball was dropped, intended for William King. King couldn't hold on to it, and a 4th down coming up for Morgan State.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do here. They're going to go for it, I believe. Are they going to trust Alex Rea to try to kick a field goal here?
Morgan State 38% on 4th downs this season, but looks like Alex Rea is going to come out 8 of 12 on field goals. His longest is a 51-yarder. It looks like they're going to punt it. A little pooch punt.
I was about to say, because the wind here is weird, because like I said before, on the far side it's blowing into his face, but on the near side it's blowing to the left. So wind swirling here at Hughes Stadium.
And there's a timeout on the field with 10:23 to go, just underway. A 4th down coming up for Morgan State when we get back.
Steakhouse, you can't fake steak.
Back at Hughes Stadium, Morgan State with a 4th down. They're going to pooch punt the football. Bounces at the 10-yard line and is touched by Whitaker at the 14, and that's where Delaware State will have another opportunity after the 15-yard punt.
Not a bad job right there by Rhea, just getting enough on it to where the wind is going to push it right back where you want it to go, and it's going to fall inside the 20-yard line, like you said. So Delaware State has their work cut out for them because we see how tough it is to throw the football in these conditions. Can they get some running game, a little bit of the running game going by establishing up front against one of the tougher defensive front sevens in the MEAC?
So 1st and 10 for Delaware State. From the 15, Aline with the carry and goes nowhere. Stopped immediately at the line of scrimmage. Bryson Aline, 5th in the MEAC in rushing, and those linebackers, McBurrow and Whitaker, there to make the stop.
Well, they're able to have success because you got guys like A.J. Abelis and Antoine McCray, and those guys are up front maintaining the line of scrimmage, so those linebackers have free reign to the football, and they're just attacking downhill in this ball game so far.
Aline was able to get 2 yards, 2nd and 8 for the Hornets. Aline again gets to the 20-yard line, and the 3rd down coming up after the Aline gain. Whitaker made the stop for Morgan State.
With how aggressive Morgan State has been so far in this game in attack and run, I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of screen dialed up here, try to take advantage of that aggressiveness. That way you can get the passing game going a little bit back up out of your own end. See right here, no safeties back deep. Everyone is pressed across the board. They're coming after them.
McDaniels probably feels the pressure. Crowding that line of scrimmage are the Bears. On this 3rd and 5. Here comes the blitz. Quick release and incomplete. Looking for Selby. Selby was looking for an interference call, but not going to get it. And a 4th down coming up for the Hornets.
That was a great job by Ron Dickerson Jr., the defensive coordinator. Did a great job in disguising that blitz. They came with an overload on the weak side. Kind of confused McDaniels right there in the pocket, which caused an errant throw. The receiver had him beat on that play. Would have been a tough throw in these conditions, but just a great job defensively by Morgan State getting off the field, dialing up a blitz right there on 3rd and medium.
Romar Martinez will punt the football away. Cofield back to receive the punt for Morgan State. Standing at his 40-yard line. Cofield gets it from the 35 on the return. He's dangerous at times and gets out of bounds across the 45-yard line at the 46. 45-yard punt. Delta Hotels by Marriott, Baltimore, Hunt Valley, the Maryland and Mid-Atlantic Region Lodging headquarters destination for visiting college football teams and fans right off of Interstate 83. Delta Hotels by Marriott, Baltimore, Hunt Valley has everything you need and want and more. Call today to book or book online for a reservation.
How true is that? Never a dull moment at the Delta Hotels in Baltimore, Hunt Valley, huh, Phil?
Not this weekend for sure, with their little convention they got going on this weekend. A lot of strange characters at Hunt Valley this weekend. So 1st and 10 for Morgan State. The Bears trying to get things going offensively, and the give to Joshua Chase, and he's brought down at the 49-yard line. There's a take a look at the Bears defense. They've been playing great lately, that's for sure. Getting coached up on the sidelines after that Joshua Chase game run.
One thing I've been impressed with by Delaware State in the couple of games that we've done the broadcast is the fact that they do a great job of one-on-one in space making tackles.
2nd and 8. Chase gets into Hornets territory and stopped at the 46-yard line.
And this is going to be a tug-of-war battle up front between these two squads. You have the old offensive lineman and Rod Milstead on the Delaware State side. You have Coach Ernest T. Jones, the defensive-minded Ernest T. Jones, calling the shots here for Morgan State. Great matchup up front in the trenches.
3rd and 2 for the Bears. Chase has the 1st down. Got 3 yards and moves the sticks, and a 1st down on the Joshua Chase run.
Morgan State has found something on the outside with those tackles. They do a great job in just walling off their guy and just creating a lane for the back to find. It's been successful off tackle, down the middle in between those center guard gaps. They haven't had the success, but they're getting success running outside.
Chase again. Good run. Niemeyer makes the stop. MEAC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance last week. The junior from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and Central Dauphin East makes the stop on Joshua Chase after that good first down run. 2nd and 5 coming up.
Just another one-on-one tackle in space. We've called his name a couple times so far in the broadcast. One of the best players in the conference.
Chase again. Nothing this time. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Brian Cavalcante, the leading tackler in the MEAC. 77 tackles, 15 and a half tackles for a loss. Those are both tops in the MEAC play. And number 7 comes in to mix the stop.
Yeah, he shot that gap pretty quickly and was able to wrap up Chase in the backfield, making it a 3rd and short. And again, until either passing game proves to be able to supersede the win here, it wouldn't surprise me to see these guys go aggressive and try to get pressure back there in the pocket.
3rd and 3 for DJ Galat. Galat's going to run it. Has the first down and more. Up to the 25-yard line. Alex Alonzo makes the stop for Delaware State. But Galat gets the first down on a 10-yard run.
Yeah, just a quarterback power right there. They pulled that guard around, and he had a lot of room to run in there. Great play call right there by Morgan State, picking up the first down.
So the Bears are moving. 1st and 10, the Hornets' 26-yard line. Galat engineering this drive. Goodwin gets a couple.
Number 29, Demarius Goodwin.
So first time we saw Demarius Goodwin with his first carry of the game. Smith made the stop for Delaware State.
Finally, Delaware State was able to get off blocks there and make a stop behind the line of scrimmage. So you saw them do a good job on that particular play. Can they have back-to-back successful defensive stops? They're starting to get off blocks here against this front wall of Morgan State.
2nd and 11. Goodwin lost a yard on the carry. Galat incomplete over the head of his intended receiver. Galat got it out quickly, but over the head of Corey Holmes.
Well, it takes 2 to tango and 3 to jump rope, so they have to have their receivers have some success by catching the football. That's 2 drops we've seen so far by this receiving core of Morgan State. I know it's going to be tough to throw the football in these conditions, but you have to help out your quarterback and make the reception.
3rd down and 11 for Morgan State.
Haven't gotten the ball to Bailey yet. He had that big game last week. 5 catches, 129 yards, and a touchdown. Big 3rd and 11 here for the Bears. The Hornets showing some pressure. Galat incomplete. Looking for Gravett and threw it behind his big tight end, the 6'4", 190-pound freshman. Threw behind Gravett and a 4th down coming up.
You hate to see those drives like that stall for a team, especially in these tough wind conditions, but they're going to keep throwing the football. I love the aggressiveness, but if you're having success running the football, it may be wise to stick to that, especially when you're fighting against the wind in this situation.
So again, they'll do the pooch punt like they did last time offensively as they stalled out in Hornets territory. Kicking from the 40. The short punt takes a bounce and goes out of bounds. Sails out of bounds, and we'll step aside. 4:46 to go. No score between Delaware State and Morgan State on the Sports Fever Television Network.
At their 10-yard line.
There you see the win at Hughes Stadium. Very blustery, cold Saturday in November here in Baltimore, Maryland for our MEAC College Football Game of the Week. The winter caps are on the coaching sideline for the coaching staff. Bryson Alleen with the carry. First down carry for the Hornets.
And they went with that wild Hornet formation, put Alleen back there at the quarterback position. Just allow him to take the direct snap and follow his lead blocker. just try to shake things up here against this defense that they haven't had a lot of success in moving off the spot.
Aline just needs 210 yards the next 3 games to be 10th place all-time in the Hornets' career rushing list. Of course, Terrence Hoover, you remember him? He was an outstanding back for the Hornets. Leads the team in the history of running, over 3,500 yards back in 84, 87.
Good job right there by Haran Ransom making that stop. Otherwise, Aline would have had a lot more room to run.
3rd and 2 here for the Hornets. From the 17. Direct snap coming back to Aline. Fighting for very close to the first down. Looks like he has it. So you see Delaware State, they're realizing it's going to be very tough to pass with the weather conditions, so they're going to try to run the football. And they've done it very well. They're number 2 in the entire MEAC with running the football. Only Howard is a little better and tops in number 1 running the football in the conference.
When in doubt, run the power. You see them going double tight. Quarterback is the running back now, and they're just running behind that extra blocker, and is making it tough for Morgan State to defend right there. You see they're just outmanned up front.
Aline gets the direct snap and runs, brought down by Whitaker. But after a nice first down run by Aline.
Was made by number 99.
So what you're seeing essentially is 2 extra linemen as far as tight ends are concerned, because they're blockers in this situation. An extra blocker with the lead back, and with the quarterback being the running back, being the guy that's going to carry the football, you have all of the advantage.
Aline has a tough time handling the snap, and he was tackled in the backfield for a loss.
Aline on the carry.
And that's the only downside of when the guy that's handling the football at the quarterback position isn't known for handling the football in that way. You have those situations where the ball just fell out of his hands, went right there, hit him in the stomach. Heads up play to pick it up, but now you're backed up in the 3rd long situation, and you have to throw the football here if you don't risk it.
Parker made that play defensively for Morgan State. 3rd down here, passing down for Jack McDaniels. Gets rid of it and has the completion to Hannon. Going to be short of the first down. 4th down coming up for
McDaniel's pass was caught.
The Hornets. Ian McBurrow on the play.
Give credit to Morgan State's defense. Once again, they haven't played anywhere outside of their 30-yard line, I don't believe, in this ball game so far. So they've done a great job in getting Delaware State off the field, but keeping them backed up on their own end, just keeping their offense in good field position situations when they get the football.
2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Been all defense here in this MEAC game. Ro Martinez will punt for Delaware from his 10-yard line. Gets the punt off. Takes a bounce at the 40 and takes a good Delaware State bounce down to the 20-yard line. Still rolling down to the 15. And is going to be touchdown inside the 15 at the 12. So a 58-yard punt by Romo Martinez thanks to the rolling football. So Morgan State will have it with 1:33 to go. No score between these two teams both teams with 2 wins apiece. But Delaware State, after starting the season winless, have won back-to-back games. They'd love to make it 3 in a row and break a long road losing streak. They have not won a road game in 27 games. You have to go all the way back to 2014. They won an overtime game at Norfolk State. That was their last road win.
Carvonta Terrell nearly got that block on that play.
1st and 10 from the 12. Chase. It's back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Run by number 30.
Brian Cavalcante with the tackle. Always around the football.
Well, stopping the run is about attitude and want to. You have to have the right temperament to play linebacker. You see him get off the block right there, fight through that block, and make the stop one-on-one. So, again, he has the right temperament. He has the right attitude, which is why he's in on a lot of tackles.
2nd and 10 for the Bears. Final minute of the first quarter. Get the pass to Holmes. Not much there, no gain. The completion to Holmes. Granger makes the stop, bringing down Corey Holmes for no gain. There's a penalty marker down. Probably going to be against Delaware State.
Yeah, you saw Kewan Selby pleading his case to the ref.
All I got out of that was third down, but a personal foul on Morgan State. So that's going to move the Bears back with 49 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Rob Milstead, I might dial up a little pressure here, try to get aggressive to generate perhaps a turnover.
Both teams trying to get back to the SIAC championship.
Whoever scores first is probably going to win the ball game.
Valley State, of course.
Take your chances now while you can.
First year of football is 1945, 11 times they've taken the SIAC title, including 2 seasons ago. Last year losing to Tuskegee 13-6 at home for the SIAC championship. Miles.
Delay a game on the Bears.
First year of football, 1910. It's the 108th season of college football here for Miles College.
Andre Harris
won the SIAC title 4 times. Last time doing so in 2015. But 2016 Kentucky State went to the title game out west, and last year it was Tuskegee. Tuskegee the defending champion in the SIAC.
State.
Valley State getting ready to kick off.
I think maybe the defense could get them some points. You're right, could be aggressive here. Ball's on the 3-yard line.
Gutierrez
standing in his own end zone, high snap.
And back deep
for
Miles.
Forward, try to get some room across the 5-yard line and down to the 6.
That was Anthony Robinson and Leonard Tyree. Last season, Tyree averaged 21.8 yards per return.
For Delaware State.
One of the top kick returners in the SIAC.
Devonta Ravel nearly blocking that punt.
Great to have you with us here on Flow Sports. First game of our coverage of SIAC football. We'll take all the way to the week before the SIAC championship game.
Opportunity
we hosted by the winner of West Division.
Field position battle. Delaware State hadn't
these teams were picked to finish second in their respective divisions. Fort Valley
15 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Miles in the west to Tuskegee.
And there's a timeout on the field.
Game is underway here from
side. Scoreless game in Baltimore.
At the
MEAC College Football Game of the Week.
Tries to take it to the left side, and there he goes down the sideline. Now cuts it back. 4 receivers set. Smith in the shotgun. It's over to the sideline. Not a lot of plays for 3rd and 19.
Battlefield 5.
Fort Valley State has come out here first 2 plays.
Back in Baltimore, Maryland, the band trying to stay warm.
Losses here for Miles College.
And moving as well.
Smith to throw.
Delaware
left
State.
side, complete to Robinson. Tries to make a move, and right
up.
there is
Great
Wiggum
field position
to make the stop at the 40-yard line. They'll mark him at the 41.
Give to Brian Dallas.
They'll pick up 10, but it won't be enough for the first down, so they'll have to go back and punt.
Jeff Jajeski. Jeff.
It'll be Jake
Well,
Anderson.
Phil, this is obviously a gigantic defensive possession for Morgan State and what could be a very low-scoring game, similar to what Coach Milstead said earlier this week. Coach Ernest T. Jones said, listen, you have to be at our practices to see just how hard this team's working. And he said, listen, if we're going to pick up some wins, we have to go from a team that competes for 4 quarters to a team that figures out how to win in the 4th quarter.
Thanks, Jeff. Brian Dallas gets the first down for the Hornets and moves the chains.
Last season. Anderson's punt.
Well, that's a great point by Jeff and Coach Milstead because that's the mark
25.
of teams that are young.
Helmet,
they have
one
to
of the
figure
players
out
for Miles.
how to close out games.
Be down at the 11-yard line, and that's where Fort Valley State will start its first offensive possession.
For the Hornets.
Fort Valley State led by Slade Jarman.
Whitaker.
Last year was newcomer of the year this season.
In the MEAC in tackles.
59% of his passes, 455 yards, 1 touchdown.
The senior.
Just 2 interceptions. Fort Valley State offensive line has already given up 11 sacks. Most in the SIAC through the first 2 games.
Playing cleanup.
Take a shot at the end zone. Had an open receiver and knocked out of his hands, looking for Collie, and what a great play by Dante Small to knock it away.
That's the second big play right there by cornerback Dante Small. We talked about this earlier. They were going with the win in the first quarter. Didn't take a shot deep down the field. He had him beat. But now you're throwing into the wind. That ball kind of hung up there, and that's why Dante Small was able to catch up and make a play on it.
Small has 4 interceptions on the season. He had 3 in the game against the University of Albany. Picked off Vincent Testaverde 3 games. Vinny Testaverde's son in that game earlier in the season. They're going to the corner of the end zone again. Another shot, but incomplete, looking for Gross.
Porter said there were better drives last week.
Incompletion,
even in the 55-6 loss to Fort Valley State, it was marked improvement.
Still love
holding on to the ball, and just as I say that, there's a fumble picked up by Stevens, and he rolls it into the end zone for a Miles touchdown.
Right there, McDaniels
Austin Stevens
right in the pocket. Still was able to fire a ball deep.
Already all over the field.
The fact that they have an opportunity.
Comes up with a fumble by German off the snap.
This corner of the end zone.
Takes it in for about a 5-yard score. And we've got our first points of the game. Miles College on top 6-0. 3 minutes into the first quarter. German just could not handle
Chris Ike in the game
the
now
snap.
For Delaware State going to the end zone.
Bounced around, and Stevens picked it up and scored.
And incomplete, was looking for Selby.
Junior from Munford,
and
Alabama.
Morgan State holds on downs. McDaniels pass to Selby, incomplete. McBurrow laying the hit on McDaniels. So watch McBurrow put the hit on the Del State quarterback.
The kick is
free on
good.
That blitz.
So Miles College getting a defensive score to start things off here on Flow
still on the money, but
7-0,
did his part to
12:05 to play
make
here
sure
in the
that
first
ball
quarter.
was
So
going to get knocked
Miles
away.
with the defense.
So they turn it over and down.
Give him the first score of the
so
ball
Delaware
game.
State not able to take advantage of the great field position.
It's a great stop by Morgan State's defense.
So Fort Valley State now -4 in turnover margin
10,
after the last fumble. That has been an issue for Fort Valley State this season, is hanging on to the ball.
Here comes the pressure.
And Fort Valley
Looking
State
for Bailey, and he was held. Pass interference.
Giving up big points
Bailey
in the
had a
first
couple
quarter.
of steps, and the ref had to find that flag out of his back pocket and then made the throw. It'll
now
be
Fort
pass
Valley State has been outscored 35-0
Bailey.
in the first quarter of this season.
You look at the defensive back, Jawan Granger, try to
hold
his hands up as far as to say as he didn't do it.
To kick off.
But you clearly saw him snatch the back of the jersey of
coming
the
out to do
receiver.
so. Will be Hamill back deep
right
to receive the kick.
It was almost like slow motion when he called the jersey. Then his reaction was like, no, it didn't happen.
And Jeremy McCants.
Take a look here. Holding Bailey, who had an awesome week last week. Bailey, 5 catches, 129 yards, and a touchdown. Bailey had a great season last year. It's been pretty quiet. It was nagged by some injuries. Last year, 37 catches, 610 yards.
Just tuned in. You missed the first score of the game. Austin Stevens with a
yards on the season.
5-yard return
Pass
for a touchdown.
Ooh, big hit.
Off the fumble from John.
I'm surprised that's not unnecessary by Jahad Newbauer, because had he just looked at the football, he had an interception, but he stayed there and waited.
It's a short
kick. Laid a hit on the ball.
Coming over to get to it. It's live. Picked up at the 15, and Smothers trying to go down the sideline. He's finally wrapped up at the 26-yard line, and that's where
Defensive
Fort Valley
Player of the
State
Week in the MEAC
start this next possession.
Play against.
So an easy start for the Wildcats. Both teams looking for the first win of the season.
Good run there.
Start for the Wildcats here. Defense got a 3 and out.
This is going to frustrate Delaware State coaches, because the defensive end was unblocked on that play and was sort of lined up all sides. He watched this play happen. You see right there, number 29.
Start from the 25-yard line. And still couldn't get around to get the tailback. Jarman looks over to the sideline with Clark in the backfield.
See him just standing there reading the option and saw the running back take the football, but just couldn't get around to make that play. Ended up being 5 yards for Morgan State.
3rd and 5. From the 41 for the Bears.
Goes in motion. Handoff goes to Clark. Clark tests the middle.
Incomplete. Baldwin dropped it. Hit him on the shoulder pads, and Small was in on coverage. Baldwin couldn't hold on.
25-yard line.
And a 4th down coming up for the Bears.
Yeah, the receivers have to start to help out Galot. I know Galot is frustrated right now, but he's doing a good job encouraging his guys to stay in the game, man. You're a Division I wide receiver. You got to make that reception. Help move the sticks. And right now, you have to give the answer to Delaware State's defense. They've been able to answer the call anytime Morgan State has had some success on offense.
So no gain on 1st down.
I'll lean back to receive the punt for Delaware State.
25-yard line.
Nicholas O'Shea to punt it away.
Jarman looking over. In the backfield with him now is Willie Jordan, junior from Warner Robins, Georgia.
So that's a touchback.
And a touchback. 59-yard punt. And we'll step aside with 12:40 to go. It's all defense here in Baltimore between Delaware State and Morgan State.
He won't get much on that play. He gets up to the 28 for Fort Valley State.
Cleaners.
It has, but
and Morgan State University.
Tackle was made by number
Big
5.
tackle
foul
big
against
run by
Miles.
Aline, a 12-yard
So
pickup
wipes
and a
away
first down
potential
for
stop on third down.
the Hornets. And there's a look at the run by Aline. First and 10 for the Hornets.
They'll mark
the
15
30-yard
yards. So 10:29 to play here in the first quarter. Fort Valley State.
Aline again gets
Have it
tackled
around
in the
the
backfield for
43-yard
a
line.
loss.
Aline on the carry.
Fadajama
Tackle was made by number 55.
on that defensive line. Fadajama makes the stop.
Roberts with the sack, but
They're
unfortunately,
really good up front. Fedegama does a
personal
great job
foul.
getting off that block and
Keeps
beating the
Fort-
back in the
Fort
back.
Valley
So
State
that's
offense on
never
the
a good
field.
sight when you're a tailback. You see a big defensive lineman barreling down on you.
Mack
Loss of
smothers
2
to the
yards, second
bottom of the
and
picture.
12 for Jack McDaniels, the sophomore quarterback.
Now referee Ryan winds the clock. So
Throws
we're
to
ready
Aline
for
out of the backfield.
action.
Gets a couple and
Clark
knocked
in
out
the
of bounds
backfield again.
at the 30-yard line.
At the top, A.J. Shipman and Jamari Brown at the top.
Small there to knock him out
Four
of bounds.
wideouts for
It'll be
Fort
third
Valley
and long,
State.
and they're throwing into the wind, so we'll see if it's going to be a short intermediate throw,
Underneath
maybe
Clark.
something we've seen
And
earlier,
Clark is
a
quickly
swing
wrapped
screen,
up
or
again.
a nice dart
Not much
over the middle of the field. They're going
Gregory
cover zero
Matthews
across
on
the
the first
board.
there,
Morgan
along
State,
with
no
Antonio
safeties back
Evans.
deep, with Whitaker being the one guy
Bring
that's
up
sort of
second down
set back
about
like a
9,
safety,
pick
but
up
they're
a yard.
manned up across the board.
44-yard line.
And they may bring pressure once again here on third
And
and
they
long.
struggle so far to start this game for a Fort Valley State rushing
Here's the third
game.
and 10.
Last in the SIAC, they're actually averaging negative yards rushing this season, negative 8.5.
McDaniels
Past that at
with
this
a
point.
completion into Bear
There's Clark
territory
again.
to the
Clark trying the right
45-yard
side.
line.
He's tripped up as he crosses the 45. to
Selby with the
47-yard
catch.
line.
Caught by number 12.
It's a great
Teron
piece of
Selby.
concentration right there, but Teron Selby just tracking the
Matthews
ball
makes
like a
another
center
tackle,
fielder.
comes over to the sideline.
He's able to haul it in and set his offense up on the other side of the 50.
Third down
Great
and 6,
reception,
47-yard
great
line.
job right there by Selby.
23-yard
Shows blitz.
pass play. McDaniels to Selby in a
Again,
first and
trying to go
10
into the
for the
sideline.
Hornets from the Morgan State 45-yard line.
Fort Valley
Quick
State will
pass out
test
of the
this mild
backfield.
secondary on this
Completion
next
made
play.
by Hannon, not much there.
Trying to
Good job
establish
defended by
running
the
game
Morgan
so
State
far.
defense.
Not
Ravel
been
makes the
effective.
stop.
It's a great job right
Goes
there
back
by
to
the
pass.
senior corner. 6'1",
Under pressure now.
205,
Escapes the
running
pocket.
off,
Flag is
making a
down.
good
Couldn't be
ball
holding.
tackle,
And he's tackled at behind.
limiting him
And
to
again-
1 yard on the play.
Second and 9. Bears
Tackled behind the
Showing
backfield. We do have
pressure.
a flag on the play. So that's going to be holding against Fort Valley
Michael
State. So the
Chris
penalty will be
Ike on the
declined.
carry, the freshman from Canada. You really like this guy.
Big fan of his
Made the
game,
tackle.
man. He's 6'2", 205, 215, I'm sorry. And it's a guy
First punt of the game for
Ontario. And you saw his high school
Fort
film.
Valley
And you
State.
saw a guy that was averaging over 13 yards a carry. You see why, because of
Ashburn
things
back
like
to
this,
punt,
carrying
10th punt
back
of the season.
for extra yards.
And
But
back for
Morgan State doing a great
Miles
job
is Lee
of
Anthony
crowding
Robinson.
gaps
He's
so where
standing
the
at his own
lineman
20.
only has to pick a guy and one guy's going to come free. So they're doing a great job of applying pressure.
Third and 7.
Short punt. Going to bounce at
McDaniels has the
Miles
completion.
40,
There's a
get a
penalty
roll.
marker down. And streaking
gonna
to the
be
end
down.
zone for a Delaware State
At the
touchdown.
6-yard line. Flags
Isaiah
flying
Williams,
everywhere.
the
There are about 3
junior.
or 4
But
flags
hold
on
on,
the
we'll
field.
have to see if it's coming
Coach
back.
Ruffin
I
is
think
really
we might have
upset.
a holding call on Delaware
his
State
players,
that
that's
will erase the
Nate Williams
McDaniels
Jr.
to Williams touchdown.
It's going to be a penalty.
There's a penalty marker back at the
Penalty against
46-yard
Miles. There
line.
are 4 flags on the
and
field.
That usually is
Almost
indication of
everybody
holding
on the field threw a
offense.
flag.
And that's the call. It'll take away the McDaniels to Williams touchdown pass. Holding on the center.
You see right there, right in the middle of your screen, a bit of a takedown right there at
Might
the
as well
defensive
keep the
line.
ball,
But
but they'll be-
offensive coordinator Eric Day with a nice play
Trap deep
call,
in his
slow
own-
delay tight end
trap
screen,
deep in his
slipped
own
him right
territory.
behind the defense. He was wide open. We'll
Marking
see
it
if
off
they
on
come back to
26.
that later on in the ballgame. But that's just a big hold right there by Ernest Sellers, the junior
Miles
center.
up 7-0. 8:27 to play here in the first
Sellers
quarter.
from Fort Lauderdale,
Austin
Florida.
Stevens with a fumble return
Dillon
touchdown,
High School.
5 yards out. Giving the Golden Bears the lead. It's home
One
opener.
of their Florida
Both
recruits.
teams 0-2 coming in, looking to get SIAC play off to a good start. Right now, Miles starting
McDaniels
this
throws
drive
the
from its
ball.
own
And it was
13.
tipped and falls short in front of the intended receiver.
Xavier Tinch goes in motion. Smith
Fourth
dropped
down
the
coming
snap,
up
and that
for the Hornets.
hurt
It's
the
a big
timing
stop
of the
right
play
there
as
by
he tried to
Morgan
get
State.
it.
I know I've said that
to
for
Marshall.
the entire broadcast when they've made stops
Forrest Bryant
defensively,
was
but
first man to make the tackle.
Delaware State started to find their passing
Marshall
game.
starting his
Have
second
momentum,
game.
but
Place of
getting
Justin
stops
Hardy,
here by
the
Morgan
preseason
State's gonna be
SIAC
key
player of the
because
year.
We've seen
65 rushing yards coming into the season.
Sophomore from New Orleans. Receivers have dropped some easy
lost
passes.
a couple on that
right
one, so be 2nd and 12 from the 11.
They get is just a positive one that really helps out their football team.
Romo Martinez will
and
put
off
the
to Marshall.
football.
Test the middle. Breaking a few tackles across
punt.
the 15. It's out near the 17-yard line.
Linebacker.
Be a 6-yard
with
pickup.
the fake punt. We've seen that
down
before by
6.
Brian Cavalcante.
Half the yards he needed.
Yeah, we saw it against Howard.
Yes, we did.
And we want to see him get more carries, too.
Yeah, we saw the same play here on the fake punt. Snap back to Brian Cavalcante, and there he goes. Gets the first down. Big play there on the fake punt by Delaware State. 31-yard pickup by Brian Cavalcante, and a first down for the Hornets.
Gutsy play call right there by Rod Milstead, sensing that the game is in the balance right here, even though it's in the second quarter. Taking a chance, gambling here, and that's how you build that confidence within your team.
Throw. Comes left side, and it's almost intercepted.
Carry footballs on the turf.
Wiggum might have had 6 points for Fort Valley State's defense.
The football at the 25-yard line.
Looks like he was looking for Antonio Lee. Anthony Robinson was also
Chris
in the area.
Ike put it on the turf. McBurrow picked it up.
Well, I guess that's like a punt, right?
Pick of the season.
Exciting way of getting the punt, right? After the fake punt, then you do this.
Wiggum
Falls
will be
right
thinking
out
about
of Chris
that one
Ike's
for a while.
hands, and Ian McBurrow falls on it at the 25.
Great team defense. Rico Kennedy was the one that caused the fumble. Amari Whitaker was right there to clog that gap, and Ian McBurrow picking up the football. So we saw linebacker play all on display there by all 3 guys. Ian McBurrow having some fun right there on the sideline.
That was a great shot. There he is. Good play there, Ian McBurrow, picking up that
off the side of the foot, and this will be a short punt.
Coach Milstead doesn't like
see where
that.
they mark this.
Team had a great opportunity to try to get some
points. Mark it at the 27.
Big run here by Joshua Chase. He's going to go the distance for a touchdown.
That's a
75 yards for Joshua Chase. That's his longest run of the season and his 3rd touchdown of the year. And the Bears are roaring with that long touchdown.
There was no one in the C gap right there. So if I'm Joshua Chase, as soon as I saw that vacated gap, my eyes got big as silver dollars because he took off running. No one was going to catch him because no one was right there. Did a great job in turning a turnover into points. That's what has to happen if you're Morgan State. Great job by Joshua Chase, outracing everyone to the end zone.
Isn't this football a great game? Could just turn just like that. Going for 2. And that does not work. The old swinging gate for Morgan State, but Joshua Chase has a 75-yard touchdown.
Gets the handoff, tests the outside. Stevens is there, and he's able to
strike first.
Wrestle him down. Also got help from
Morgan State up 6-0.
Again, looks at the sideline.
I like that.
Park back in the backfield.
I guess I am pretty smart.
4 wide receivers.
What's in your wallet?
5 yards, took about 12 seconds off the clock. Joshua Chase with the touchdown.
This side, pass complete to Clark, and then he is decked.
Over the Hornets.
Sliding the play all the way. Ruben Sarton,
North Carolina A&T
transfer from Stillman.
Savannah State in the second quarter. Howard and Norfolk State
Clark makes the catch.
10-10
no gain on the play.
In the second quarter there.
It'll be 4th down.
And on Thursday night, Bethune-Cookman with an overtime win over North Carolina
it is going
Central,
to be
28-25.
Bethune-Cookman has the best kicker in college football, period. One of the funniest guys, best characters
coming back onto the field.
In college football, Uriel Hernandez.
We might have a timeout here by Fort Valley State.
220, something like that. He's built like a fire hydrant.
Bethune-Cookman with a big game next week against
Fort Valley State
FAMU.
calls timeout with 4:11 to play here in the first quarter.
FAMU playing
Miles
South Carolina State at 4 o'clock today, and there Joshua Chase just ran 75 yards, so he wants to stay warm, so he hits the stationary bike.
You know why? Because to have to take off on a cold day like this,
we'll be back to Abbott J. Sloan Alumni Stadium in just a moment. You're watching SIAC football on Flow Sports.
Bryant Dallas gets the carry. Stop made by McBurrow, who had that fumble recovery.
Just about all Wayne Jones County. Timing. Gross. Yeah. Diving catch in center field by Ben McClinsky. There is a shot towards deep short. Perhaps got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
Warrior made the stop, along with Whitaker in there.
You just see these guys
4th down and 13. Fort Valley State going for it.
Blocks and not getting.
We've got another timeout, this time by Miles.
So they're winning up front.
Miles checking out the alignment and not liking something there. So we have another timeout. Both teams now with 2 timeouts
remaining.
remaining.
Has a receiver, and the completion far sideline. That'll be a first down and a great catch.
Kevin Porter, the reigning coach of the year, the SIAC.
Selby.
Back-to-back SIAC East titles.
Selby with the catch.
Won the SIAC East title last year despite losing the final game of the season to Albany State, the Fountain City Classic at the end of the year.
Go up all hands and high point that football. That's tremendous.
Still had enough wins in conference play to get to the
25-yard gain on that
championship game.
pass
Got
play.
to host it.
McDaniels to Selby, good for
13-6 to
25 yards.
Tuskegee.
Puts him in Bears
Tuskegee.
territory.
Again, looking like
44-yard line.
every part of the
Hornets trying to answer the
defending
Joshua
champion.
Chase 75-yard touchdown
Tuskegee
run.
lost to Alabama State first time since 2011.
Straight ahead for a couple.
In 4th and 13, Valley State looking to
Morgan State after
first 4th down conversion of the season. Jarman over the middle, wide open, pass is caught. Sarton makes the tackle.
At halftime, about his offensive lineman having to get movement up front.
That'll be a first down for Fort Valley State. That one caught by O'Brien Anderson, graduate transfer from
2nd and 9 for
Miami,
State.
transfer from Mississippi Valley State. That one good for
Daniels
23 yards down to the 12-yard line.
Looking for Gross.
First completion of the game for Jarman is for a first down.
Small on coverage.
Looks like McDaniels was expecting him to run that little pivot or whip route.
First time for
back
Fort
to the
Valley State
outside.
in the red zone.
Receiver Gross ran in and
Sixth
stopped,
time it's gotten to the red
McDaniels
zone.
outside. Had he gone with that pivot, he had
Fakes the handoff, now gives it to Smothers. Smothers tries to get outside the block of Davis, but could not do it.
But these corners of Morgan State.
Wells over there again to make the stop.
Remind me a lot of what you see at Howard.
Inside the 10 to the 8-yard
line. Take away passing windows.
Talking about Ravel and talking about Small, the 2 cornerbacks for Morgan State.
Back up to the line.
Third
Second down
here.
and 6 from the 8-yard
Jack
line.
McDaniels. Here comes the pressure. A lot of orange around him.
Wide
McDaniels is
receivers
going
again for Fort
down,
Valley
sacked
State.
at the 49-yard line. And there you see the big pressure by Morgan State.
Smothers goes in
Rico
motion.
Kennedy and company just making plays behind the
Looking to
line of
throw
scrimmage.
over the middle. Man is in the end zone, and it was almost intercepted
same size
by C.J. McClellan. He just could not hang on to it.
They can run their
We've had a couple
right there just chasing him around
those
on the
drops
backside
by
and
defensive backs and
3.5
linebackers.
sacks now for Rico Kennedy
McClellan was right there
on the season.
trying to hit Jeffrey
24
Mack in
sacks
the back of the end zone.
on the year for this defense. That's second in the MEAC. They
Really
like the
threw it
second
short. He
quarterback.
threw it a little bit higher.
William King back to receive the
Mack
punt.
was open in the back of the end zone. So we've
Standing
seen that
at
a couple of times.
It's
He was
13-yard
getting
line.
open. Third down and 6.
Romo Martinez to punt the football for Delaware State.
And we've got another timeout for
William
Valley
King will
State.
pick it up at the
Second
10.
timeout of this possession.
On the return for King, penalty markers down, and King is tripped
next
up
week,
across the 35-yard
Miles will
line.
head to Chicago to take on
There's a
Morehouse.
penalty marker and a couple of players down at the
Be able
10-yard
to
line after
watch
the
that game on Flow Sports
26-yard
next
punt.
week.
Yeah, you saw the block in the back. As soon
Fort Valley
as
State will head
he did
to
it, rough
Columbia,
flag
South
down
Carolina to take on East
What
Division
happens in
foe
every punt,
Benedict
Emery?
in the Palmetto Capital City Classic. That's next Sunday, the 23rd.
On a blocking,
The
on
game
a
will also be
back. It
streamed
never fails.
right here on Flow Sports. So it's going to be a busy
That's what I learned
weekend.
this year hanging out with you.
Every punt return will have
A very
a flag.
busy weekend. A lot of driving for some of us on the crew. Lamar Gaines here at the top. James Crenshaw in the truck.
Half a distance. Walk the ball. First and
Fort Valley State facing 3rd and 6 from its own 8-yard line. 3:07 to
Right
play.
there on number 55, block in the back.
5:26 to go before the half. Morgan State with a 6-0 lead on the Sports Fever Television Network.
That left side.
Miles' special teams has been very special the last couple of years. They've had at least 2 blocks each of the last 3 seasons. Jalen Thomas is one of those guys who can get that good push up the middle, and he was able to get his hand on it. You know,
by Joshua
Fort Valley
Chase,
State and Miles both have had to make some changes on the kick
here this
team.
afternoon.
They both
with the first
graduated
down run.
kickers who were all conference the last
Coach
couple of years.
Ernest
Nick Christensen
Jones.
for the Golden Bears,
Right.
Juan
2
Cerna
wins this season.
for the
Shocked
Wildcats.
everyone
So
by winning
you're running
on
some
the road
freshmen
at
out here who
North
haven't
Carolina.
had quite the
18
opportunity
wins.
to kick at this level. So it's going to be
quarterback is in.
some growing
That's the
pains, a little
freshman,
trial and error,
Tyler
if you will.
Holly,
And that time it
who
didn't
started
work
the game
for
against
Fort Valley State.
Bethune-Cookman, was 1 of
Miles
2
will
for
set up
5
shop right at
yards
the 20-yard line.
in the
Smith,
game last week.
another low snap. We got a flag on the play. He's looking to hand the
Tyler
ball off to
Holly
Marshall.
played in the Big 33 football classic. That's between Pennsylvania All-Stars
A lot
and
of
the Maryland
changes for
All-Stars.
the Golden Bears on offense.
They're high on
they're
this kid
working
from
with the third
Perry
game, the
Hall.
third different line combination. know you've talked a little bit about Daniel Smith. He didn't even play football last year on the collegiate level, so they're all kind of working, and it's a work in progress.
Coming up,
hoping that
State.
Once you get to the latter portions of the season, that the teams and the players have gelled so that they can make a run for a championship. And I'm sure that's the case on both sides.
Fort Valley State has been a kind of late bloomer the last 2 seasons, still able to make it to the SAC championship. Slow starts.
And he has the first
empty backfield. Smith throws to the left side. That pass is caught by.
Well, that's the difference right there between
Antonio Lee.
As far as
he'll bring it across the 25. Bring it out to the 25-yard line. That'll be
movement up front. Delaware State's offensive line has not been
good for a 10-yard pickup.
Second and 5 there. Antonio Lee was the leading receiver on this team last year, but he only had 12 catches to let you know how little they ran it with Justin Hardy out there doing the majority of the offensive work. But they've got some very capable pass catchers on the Miles side of the football.
How does not having Hardy in the backfield kind of change what Miles has had to do so far?
We'll talk about it here in a second here as Daniel Smith with the quarterback keeper that's going to pick up enough for a first down.
15 yards on the play.
That's a tough tackle to make.
You're talking about Justin Hardy not being in there. He is a power back with speed. You know, he's 5'8", about 170 pounds. He certainly has no problem running in between the tackles, but if he gets to the outside on you, he can certainly break. He had 5-6 plays last year that went for more than 80 yards.
Daniel Smith now after the 15-yard run, now back to pass.
Holly going to keep it himself.
Breaks the pocket.
Runs for the first down. Gets out of bounds.
And he's got first down yardage one more time.
So Holly out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Picks up another first down.
Push him out of bounds at the Fort Valley 48-yard line. So 12 more for Daniel Smith.
185.
Last week, Daniel Smith showed his ability to be able to move out of the pocket. And when Miles is spreading teams wide, as it did against one of the top teams in Division II, West Alabama, they've been able to pick up big chunks of yards. He threw for 233 in the first half last week, running mostly with 5 wide.
It's like
it's a good look at the freshman.
Where Miles is going on this possession. 5 wide.
Off to Joshua Chase.
This entire possession.
Across the 40-yard line down
in the Fort Valley State territory as the final minute of the first quarter takes down.
Now it's getting pretty chippy down there on the
far side, up top,
between these two rivals.
For Lee, it's incomplete.
Out there on the field, man.
Prather on the cover.
Prather did a great job there on that coverage. Never let Lee get more than like a quarter of a step away from him. And Smith tried to hit the seam right there and tried to get it in a tight spot, but Prather stayed disciplined and was able to keep
last year. Delaware State got the win over the
10,
Bears in Dover
28 seconds left here in the first quarter. Of course, the Miles defense comes up with that first score. Seemed to really get this crowd involved in the game to start the game.
And that's one thing Miles' defense has done over the last several years. They've got nearly 20 touchdowns over the last 3 years, the last 4 years
with a little bit of offside
on the defense and special teams.
This is a great ball.
Smith on the throw it to Robinson. Gets out of the pocket and trying to stiff arm, but it's not going to work. As Robinson had a vice grip on
forcing Aaron throw.
Daniel Smith on that one.
Sometimes it's about staying disciplined, especially when you've seen the quarterback start to make his move outside of the pocket the last couple of plays. You've got to have somebody kind of keep an eye on him, and that time Robinson did that. Smith almost could have caught a penalty. You got to be careful in putting that stiff arm on someone's head.
Holly falls on it.
You can't do that. That'll be the end of the first quarter. Miles College holding a 7-0 lead over Fort Valley State. At the end of the first quarter, we're watching SIAC football on Flow Sports.
Drive going, but just 2 bad plays back to back. The Aaron.
She's frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving kick by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play, second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Has all kinds of real estate and then steps out right there
Welcome back to Fairfield, Alabama. Elwood J. Sloan Alumni Stadium. Right now, Miles with a 7-0 lead on Fort Valley State. The Bears in Fort Valley State territory as we get started with the second quarter. Amari Darrington. A. Moore's going back and forth between the PA announcer to color analyst here. He's got, of course, doing color analyst for Miles as well. And the teams
all kinds of
getting
real estate
resituated.
Got too far down on the sideline and stepped out of bounds, so Delaware State has the football back on the unsuccessful.
It should be on the Fort Valley State 48 on the other side.
For Delaware State, didn't work for Morgan State this time.
Right
with 1:03 to go before the half.
It's going to be 3rd and 14. Actually, they had did have the loss on the last
Black
play.
is in at quarterback for Delaware State, replacing McDaniels.
Negative side of 50.
We saw Black, who started in the Howard game that we had earlier this year on the Sports Fever Television Network, handed the ball off to Ali.
Chains should be at the Fort Valley State 48. Should start there. Going down to the 38-yard line. Looks like they've got everything situated.
Delaware State's comfortable.
How are we switching over teams? Sometimes everybody gets nothing. 4 wideouts here for Miles.
3rd and 3.
Robinson goes in motion.
20 seconds to go before the half.
Smith looking to throw. Backpedaling under pressure, and he throws it short. Incomplete. It's like tried to hit Marshall on the screen.
Black.
David Brown was over there to make sure that.
Incomplete. Looking for Selby.
Marshall would not get very far. So the incomplete pass brings up 4th down.
Get rid of it in a hurry.
Incomplete.
Got whistles on the
snap was a problem, and then the pressure also
judge coming in from
forced Black to get rid of it.
At the 40-yard line.
The new quarterback for Delaware State. It's 4th and 3.
So 4th and 3 with 8 seconds to go before the half, and the Bears up 6-0.
See what this. That flag.
Joshua Chase, the 75-yard touchdown after the turnover by Delaware State. And the Hornets are going to take a timeout.
It's interesting.
Take a timeout to talk about this 4th down.
Well, there's a lot of discombobulation going on here with the crew here.
As far as what you call the situation.
It's the 3rd week of the season.
Take a shot at the end zone.
Still some kinks to work out.
Delaware State doesn't have any more timeouts, so you can't try to play it to where you can get a short, quick pass, get out of bounds, and try another play to go to the end zone. You just kind of hope you can get it there to the end zone to have a shot at maybe a pass interference or even a touchdown. So we'll see what the play call is here for the Hornets.
So you have a 4th and 3, 8.4 seconds to go before the half.
Not sure what the situation was there, but in any event,
in this defensive battle.
Anderson back again. Smothers inside his own 20.
Morgan State, you see them in a punt-safe defense.
Fake punt worked for them before, but then on the very next play, they fumbled the ball back to Morgan State, and then Joshua Chase took it 75 yards for the only score of this game.
Towards the sideline, Smothers fields it about the 13. Makes him move up the sideline, and it'll step out of bounds.
That's the final play of this first half.
We've got some more pushing and shoving.
Morgan State has a 6-0 lead going to the locker room.
Out at the 25-yard line.
First win of the season at home.
Fort Valley State will start next possession
of the year.
Fort Valley State with an opportunity.
Second half is coming up.
Last
Morgan
possession.
State.
Gutierrez.
The 6-0 lead. We'll hear from Coach Ernest T. Jones. Down the field with Jeff Jasewski when Coach gets in place. Get his thoughts on this first half and his Bears up 6-0.
Points of the game.
We head down to the field to Jeff to get some
30
thoughts
seconds
with
into
Coach
the
Ernest T.
second quarter.
Jones. Jeff?
Through the mindset there of that 3-play stretch, they succeed on the fake punt, then you guys force the fumble, and then 75-yard touchdown the other way.
I mean, just staying true to the principles that we have and reading our keys, it just kind of fell into it. It wasn't nothing special that happened. We just fell into it.
28-yard line.
Good defensive effort there, haven't allowed any points in the first half. You know, what have you seen that you like?
We're getting after them. Like I said, on defense, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to try to make the quarterback get the ball out of his hand. We're going to try to stop the run, and that's what they're doing. And we end up getting a turnover, which we want to get the ball back to our offense.
On the game.
All right, Coach. Last question I have for you. How much has it and how much will it affect the win that is your play calling?
Yeah, it's definitely affecting the play call. I mean, you know, we got two young quarterbacks trying to get them to read it. It's tough enough, but not trying to throw into that win makes it difficult. We're going to just try to keep it on the ball and run with the running back.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time.
Shipman again in motion.
Morgan State with a 6-0 lead. We're at the half on the Sports Fever Television Network. Our MEAC College Football Game of the Week. We'll be back with a halftime show from Baltimore, Maryland. Morgan State 6-0 lead over Delaware State.
20-yard on the play.
It's
second down and
49ers by the Bay. Monday Night Football. Giants Niners. Monday at 8:15
Golden was the
on
first man
ESPN.
there. Smith back to pass, going deep.
I mean, it's an honor just to be here.
Looking for Tyree, and again, Wiggum. Second time he's had a
military science
pick go through his
Morgan
hands.
State. Just talk about that role and sort of what all goes into
Go
it.
Wiggum.
So number one, the
transfer from UCF.
Commission's second lieutenant.
Second team All SIAC last season. Second time he has dropped an interception. Will be second down. We've got a flag down
in leadership
as well.
And just helping them mature.
Got 2 flags on the play.
Leaders. The seniors today, within the next 6-7 months, they're going to be leading our sons and daughters, into combat and other types of adventures, in their career.
And finally, you were just part of a ceremony a few moments ago, recognizing some Morgan State grads that are veterans and also promoting some of the cadets in their senior years. What is that moment like, and what was that ceremony like for you?
Oh, it's an honor for
game
those
tied at
seniors.
7. Miles has a first down at the Fort Valley 46.
Right there on the spot. So
Purple
now
marching
they know
machine
what their
gets
careers
going
are going to be in the military.
here on the
they're excited. This is a big moment for them.
Smith
They've been waiting for this.
down the field, and the pass is intercepted. What a play by Zach Anderson.
Well, Lieutenant Colonel, thank you for your time.
Antonio Lee was the intended receiver. He didn't see the ball.
Thank you very much. Morgan State with a 6-0 lead over Delaware State. The band entertaining
with his
the fans
first interception
here
this
at
season.
Stadium. We'll have more coming.
And so
on
Fort
the
Valley
Sports Fever
State
Television
gets
Network
one.
halftime show.
These teams, so Fort Valley State, they found some room in this running game that has struggled.
Getting ready for the second half between Morgan State and Delaware State. The Bears with a 6-0 lead over the Hornets.
Jordan again. There's 47 on the tackle.
Earl Banks,
again.
former head coach at Morgan State University, named American Football Coaches Association recipient of the 2018 Trailblazers Award. They'll be honored on Monday, January 7th in San Antonio, Texas.
For Fort Valley State.
Congratulations to Coach Earl Banks. That's a major
Shipman
honor.
comes in and comes to the near side.
Banks played football
wide receivers for the Wildcats.
1946 to 49. An all Big Ten, All-American selection. A great football coach here at Morgan State. Congratulations to Coach Banks.
Moves under 3.5 minutes to play here in the first half.
We're underway here in the second half. Return.
High snap. Flag down.
Cofield.
Jarman gets it out to Jordan. Jordan along the sideline, and Stevens runs interference. We do have a flag.
Take a look at some first half.
Let's find out what it's all about.
It wasn't much. There was the
linesman on the near side.
Punt that worked beautifully. Delaware State was in business, but then the very next play, they fumbled the football. Right back to Morgan State. Ian McBurrow picked it up. And the next play, our only touchdown of the afternoon. Joshua Chase goes 75 yards for the touchdown. There's your first half highlights.
Well, Shelton's had a pretty good first half. Makes a mistake right there. 3rd and 1.
DJ Galat back in at quarterback.
Down the distance now after the 5-yard penalty.
Gives to Joshua Chase. Chase, 126 yards in that first half.
Run by Chase.
Right at the stick.
It's a great tackle once again by Brian Cavalcante, man. He uses one
really
outstanding.
They can measure that for a first down. Looks like they've got
the guy off this team
enough for a first down.
Defense, it would be Cavalcante with the way he plays the game.
Cavalcante, number 1 in the MEAC in tackles and tackles for a loss. Quick strike.
About ready to enter the field.
Call that a completion to Rivette.
We may see more of a passing game here in the second half as the wind
Jordan
has
again
started to die down.
And stops after a modest loss on the play.
Rivette,
Stevens,
freshman, his 11th catch of the season.
Thomas,
has 3 touchdowns
along
on
with
the
Shelton. Outside of that defense.
Big 3rd and 1 here for Ernest T. Jones'
State.
offense.
Under 3 to go.
Hornets showing pressure.
Game tied at 7. Fort Valley State trying to end the half.
Out of the backfield to Holmes.
On a high note.
Holmes has
Wildcats
the first
will
down
get the
and
ball
more.
To start the 3rd quarter.
Holmes with a good run after catch. We heard from his parents at halftime on senior day.
The scores around
grad
halftime.
Student transfer from Notre Dame, a 15-yard pickup. Gillette to Holmes.
Jarman fakes it to Jordan, throws over the middle, and the pass is caught.
Not only just
it's complete to Jeffrey Mack, his first catch of the game. Sophomore from Athens, brings across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Tackle made by Coleman.
Holmes' 3rd catch of the game.
But it will be good enough for a first down. 13 yards on the reception.
Chase, another big run.
Clock moves towards 2 minutes to play here, second quarter.
And 1 after 9 yards by Joshua Chase, adding to his total.
Yeah, normally teams are right-handed when they run
Place
the football.
handoff. Now Smothers out in the open field. Good block by Brown.
Left tackle and left
and
guard
Smothers gets out of bounds.
As far as getting guys off the spot. So a nice
47-yard
line.
Right
there. He's able to pick and choose where he wants to go.
Four
and
more for
a lot of success right there on that first down carry.
Buena Vista, Georgia native.
Get back
Smothers
to Chase.
said
he has enough for the first
thing
down.
he's worked on the most is getting in shape,
3-yard
knowing that he's going to get
pick up
a lot more touches this season than he did last year, though he did lead the team with 428 receiving yards
Joshua Chase
last
provided
year.
the only touchdown of this game. 175
McCants
yards,
now in the
pretty much
backfield.
untouched.
First time we've seen him in the backfield.
There was no one in that C gap right there once again. He's able to outrun everyone to the end zone.
And he'll get the carry.
First and 10
the
for
right
the Bears,
side and bowling his way
line.
out across midfield. And he's still going. And they finally mark him at the 47-yard line of Miles. That's not before he picks up 6 and gets a first down. Jeremy McCants. This is 5th carry of the season. Sophomore from Anniston, Alabama. But he makes the most of his opportunity.
We have
and Fort Valley State is on the plus side of the 50.
That is
125 remains here in the first half.
12:05 to go. The third quarter. The Bears holding on to a 6-0 lead.
Valley State has 1 timeout remaining. Shipman in motion. Tried to hit Adrian Adams, but Adams could not come up with
University, Hughes Stadium,
with the
Baltimore,
play.
Maryland. Bears with a 6-0 lead over
St.
Delaware State. The injured
Florida.
player Joshua Chase.
So bring up third down and 8 from the 45. Clock stops at 1:06.
Touchdown of the game.
Left here in the second quarter.
Looks like
Clark in the backfield.
He's in some pain, Emery.
Yeah, you don't want to see that from one of the best players in the game, and your hope is not as serious. We saw Kewan Selby have the same type of carry-off against Howard for Delaware State, and he's back out there healthy. So you hope he's healthy and hope that it's not as serious as it may look.
Going deep,
Second and
far
5.
side, it's intercepted.
Delaware State looked like they jumped across.
Picked off by Walker.
Down.
And Walker atones for his earlier penalty down in the red zone. That's the second turnover for Fort Valley State.
The line of scrimmage before that ball was snapped.
A chance here with 58 seconds left in the first half.
The Delaware State sideline and one on the Morgan State
sideline. First interception of the season for Walker.
There's
one returns it to the 32-yard line. So Miles now back on the offensive attack.
3 penalty markers they're going to have to sort through.
Empty backfield for Smith on first down. Smith, left side, complete. That's Tyree. Tyree breaks a tackle and finally gets dragged down as he crosses the 40 to the 44-yard line. David Brown was over there on the stop.
State. And that'll help Morgan State.
Also Wiggum.
Here's the early jump across.
12-yard gain on that one. Here's Smith again. Breaking contain, under pressure, and they'll just scoot out of bounds. Floyd and Bryant were given chase.
Granger, the defensive back for Coach Millsap.
Wildcat on the sideline.
Called for the penalty. The lot going up deep, looking for Holmes, and incomplete. Had Holmes and Bailey deep.
Floyd,
shot at the end zone.
Chasing Smith on that last play. Loss of 4.
Incomplete.
Second
There's a penalty marker down. Could be a late
41
hit.
seconds left.
Galot took
in the first half.
Might have been late.
There's back-to-back undisciplined plays right there by Delaware State. They're normally pretty good as far as penalties are concerned, but maybe not.
Smith goes straight up the middle.
Wishy-washy right there. Good
runs into the umpire, and he is tackled
penalty on
at midfield. The umpire gets run over.
Galot was able to.
That one good for 8 yards. Timeout called by Miles. With 30.3 seconds left here in the second quarter.
Goodwin in replacing Joshua Chase, who was
sometimes the umpire
injured,
gets in the way
treated
himself.
On the sidelines. Gastel made the stop.
Stop by Castell.
It's a gut check drive here for Delaware State. You're starting to
see. Sometimes the umpire ends up making the tackle. Smith said, "Not going to tackle me on this play."
Second down and 9 for Morgan State.
Gut check time for the Hornets.
Second and 9 for Morgan State. Working in Hornet territory. Galat to Holmes, and he was hit immediately.
First half numbers for you.
Big hit by Granger.
If possible, during the halftime.
Well, Granger kind of fell into that play right there because the receiver
You
carried
also have
that
both
route
bands
too
on
far
the
down
field
to where he was getting
during
blocked.
halftime.
The receiver at the bottom of the screen was able to do a good job of blocking
Second
Granger,
half underway.
but the pass was so far out, and the receiver ran that route so far down.
And now Miles
Granger was in great position to make that
take
stop.
the lead for the second time today.
Right there, just a good job.
Game tied
by
at
Granger
7.
Fighting through that block, but
30 seconds
the
left to
receiver
play.
kind of walked himself into that hit.
Miles now down to its last timeout at
right to the
midfield.
party.
Exactly.
Second down.
Backfield again.
Ball is intercepted.
Successful formation for Miles. Last couple
Picked
of weeks.
off by Small. That's his first interception for Miami, Florida.
Over to Tyree, and he gets hit immediately by Wiggle.
Of DJ Galat.
It's going to be short of the first down at 47.
That's a heck of a
We'll bring
job
a fourth
right there.
down in the yard.
In the slot, just coming
Interesting
across
to
the
see
formation and making an excellent
they do here. They
interception
try to
on that,
just have
on
one
that
more
pass.
play.
Just diving across the formation, buzzing out toward the flat.
Well, they're going to take this
Doing
in
a
for
great job
halftime.
of turning the ball over, getting your offense back on the field.
And looks like they
Delaware
are going
State
to take
needed to
this
stop in
into
that drive, in
halftime.
that situation.
So
And Isaiah
at
Small was able to give it to
halftime,
him
Miles Carlton and Fort Valley State tied
Trying
at
to get the
7.
ball
Fort
to
Valley
Baldwin,
State scoring
but a
on
great play by
8-yard
Isaiah
reception by
Small.
Jamari Clark. Miles scored the first 7 points of the game with the 5-yard fumble return touchdown.
Black in at quarterback.
By Austin Stevens. So an even
with the
game
first
as we
down
head
carry.
to halftime.
Gets 2,
first half
second and
numbers
8.
as well. And also, both bands will be performing during halftime.
So Jack
You're watching
McDaniel started
SIAC
at quarterback
football on
and been
Full Sports.
replaced by Keenan Black. Here for Delaware State.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving kick by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
White out there at the bottom of your screen for Black. Down he goes. Morgan State collapsed the pocket. Ian McBurrow was one of the Bears in there to take Black down to the
Just
turf.
about all Wayne Jones County. Diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Perhaps got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
Football away.
Well, back here to Fairfield. It's halftime festivities going on. It's
the
Prince
punt
Hall
for the Bears.
Americanism Football Classic. And right now you're seeing a check being presented by the Prince Hall Masons to Miles College for $10,000.
Roll down to the 40-yard line. That's where Morgan State will have the football with a 6-0 lead over Delaware State with 8:51 to go in the third quarter after a 40-yard punt on the Sports Fever Television Network.
1910. We'll have both bands.
Get Battlefield 5.
So sit back, relax, enjoy this halftime presentation here on Flow Sports.
The 39-yard line for DJ Galat. Galat looking for Bailey. Bailey stopped on the route and threw it over his head. Let's head down to the field for an update. Jeff Dejewski. Jeff?
Well, guys, the running back position has been sort of snake-bitten for Morgan State this year. Jordan Riggins already out for today. Will King has struggled with injuries this year. And now Josh Chase, who was already hurt once this year, has just been carted off the field. It was a left knee injury. He was unable to put any pressure on that knee coming off the field. They put him on the back of the Gator, and they took him out to the locker room. That's never a good sign for return, Phil.
Chase, 18 carries, 145 yards, and that 75-yard touchdown. Looks like his day could be done. Will King in to replace Chase, and short run there, maybe a yard back to the line of scrimmage. Third down coming up for Morgan State.
A great defensive play right there. You're starting to see the defensive line of Delaware State use their hands and eyes in unison to read what's going on and get off the block and make a stop. And that's what happened on that particular play on the outside.
3rd and 9 for Morgan State. Morgan State 4 of 9 on 3rd down so far today. Completion to Bailey. Short of the 1st down. It'll be a 4th down coming up after the Gillette to Bailey completion.
And Najee Bailey did a great job right there, hauling that football in and making this an interesting call for Coach Jones.
Brian Cavalcante is the injured Delaware State player. And we'll step aside as they'll work on Brian Cavalcante. It's a 6-0 Morgan State lead, 7:55 to go here, 3rd quarter.
Stop the train.
Their own 46-yard line.
For the Hornets.
Trying to get something going offensively. Down 6-0. Black in at quarterback. Bryant Dallas with the carry right side across midfield into Bear territory. 6-yard pickup. 2nd and 4 coming up for the Hornets.
I believe they went to Keenan Black here at quarterback because of what he brings to the table as a runner and a run threat, which will aid the running game to have a little bit more success here in the second half as guys have to now key on Black and also tailback.
They've only tried 13 passing attempts this game, have the Hornets. Black will keep it himself and hit after a short gain. McBurrow and Whitaker, the linebackers, in to make sure Black doesn't go any further.
Yeah, just team meeting right there at the quarterback by both McBurrow and also Whitaker. Doing a great job just flying in on a tackle. Both guys at the same time smashing the quarterback.
3rd and 3 for the Hornets.
The Morgan State 46-yard line.
Snap is over Black's head. Arlene picks it up. He gets back somewhat close to the original line of scrimmage. And a 4th down coming up after that snap went right over Keenan Black's head.
Been a series of unfortunate events here today for Delaware State. We've had all sorts of issues. This was the first high snap we've seen, and it really derailed what could have been a good drive for the Hornets. Great stop by Morgan State's defense, getting this football back after the block punt.
Dante Small back to receive the punt from Romo Martinez.
It's not as windy as it was in the first half.
Romo Martinez's punt bounces at the 15-yard line and dies right there. Delta Hotels by Marriott, Baltimore Hunt Valley, the Maryland and Mid-Atlantic region lodging headquarters destination for visiting college football teams and fans. It's right off Interstate 83. The Delta Hotels by Marriott. Baltimore's Hunt Valley has everything you need and more and everything you want. Call today or book a reservation online. Delta Hotels by Marriott, Baltimore Hunt Valley. So 1st and 10 after the 38-yard punt. From the 15-yard line for Morgan State, trying to pick up their first victory of the season at home in their last home game of the 2018 season. Penalty marker. That'll be on Morgan State. Morgan State also trying to snap a 3-game losing skid. Their last win was at Savannah State back on October 13th. 18-11 victory. 1st and 15 for the Bears.
15-yard line.
Goodwin hitting the backfield for a loss. Brian Cavalcante is okay. He was injured earlier, but he's back out there and doing what he does, making tackles.
Came in on a run blitz right there. overload that A gap, just beat the pulling guard to the spot, and found himself in the backfield making a stop on the play.
Another tackle for a loss by Brian Cavalcante, who leads the MEAC in that department. 2nd and 19. For Galat. Fires, has Bailey wide open at the 40. Bailey in Hornet territory and drug out of bounds. He was wide open. Bailey with the big catch from Galat and puts the Bears in Hornet territory. The biggest pass play of the day goes for 57 yards. Galat to Bailey.
Jawan Granger, the cornerback, number 42, has had his issues all game long with Manasseh Bailey. This is a guy that has done a great job in just finding ways to get open. He's beating the corner off the line of scrimmage, and finally we're able to connect deep down the field without a penalty. So it's been a long day for cornerback Jawan Granger in trying to cover Manasseh Bailey.
Bailey's second catch of the day, good for 64 yards, and that was good for 57 yards. Galat will keep it himself. Running forward, crawls his way to the 30-yard line before he was stopped. 7-yard pickup on the run by Galat. It'll be a 2nd and 3 coming up.
That was a big chunk play that Morgan State needed desperately to jumpstart this offense, and he came back with a nice run play on first down, setting up 2nd and short here for the Bears.
2nd down and 3, Morgan State.
Bears stretch the field, 3 wide receivers at the top. This is a down you could take a chance with a 2nd and short. Galat rolling, firing, and has the completion. Very nicely done. Pollen making the catch, his 2nd catch of the game.
It's a good job right there by Darian Foley. We saw him drop one earlier and coming back and making these receptions. So in the second half, we've seen
Miles Carl's now hitting the field after Fort Valley State did this performance. Enjoy Miles' band, the purple marching machine.
Bring your
We'll get ready for the second
here
half.
out on the field, but you have to be mentally in tune to the game. They started the second half both mentally and physically ready to play.
Polian's catch good enough for a first down. Morgan State at the Hornets' 22-yard line with a 1st and 10. Looking to add to their 6-0 lead. Give to Goodwin. Nowhere to go. Handled in the backfield. Tackle for a loss. Jason Smith, one of the guys in there to make the stop.
Yeah, he's had a really good day up front. He's one of the lone guys that has been able to get off blocks and make plays consistently in the backfield. You see him just shoot through the gap, cut inside the offensive lineman, and make that stop behind the line of scrimmage.
So a 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12. The Hornets showing pressure again, lining up that, jumping towards that line of scrimmage.
25-yard line.
Galat, incomplete. Looking for Holmes. Shelby was on the coverage.
Yeah, Kewan Selby has done a great job just staying locked in to the receivers. He's done a great job all season long for Delaware State. He's their best cover corner in my opinion. And when you look at that situation there, you kind of want Holmes to continue to run through the corner instead of looking back for the football until the last possible minute. By him slowing down, he put Selby in an even better position to make a play on it.
2:09 to go, third quarter. Big third down here, 3rd and 12. Pass out of the backfield completed to Holmes. Holmes across the 20-yard line down to the 19. A 4th down coming up.
They're sending the field goal team out there, and they're looking with the win. So this one may end up in Pennsylvania by the time it's all said and done.
Alex Rea, 8 of 12 in field goals, his longest a 51-yarder. Be a 36-yard attempt for Alex Rea, who of course was the hero of the North Carolina A&T game. Had a couple of field goals in that game, including the game winner as time expired. Alex Rea with this 36-yarder. The kick is up, and the kick is good for Alex Rea. Adds to Morgan State's lead. The Bears now lead at 9-0. 1:26 to go in the third quarter on the Sports Fever Television Network.
Great benefits for veterans. From Navy Federal Credit Union, our members are the mission.
The Bears add to their lead. 8-play, 66-yard drive. 4:01 off the clock. Alex Rea with a 36-yard field goal. And it's 9-0. Bears trying to snap a 3-game losing skid and pick up their 3rd win of the season. Rea kicks it into the end zone for a touchback. Let's head down on the field to Jeff Dujewski. Jeff?
Well, Phil, Menage Bailey's catch on that drive helped set up those 3 points. And Coach Ernest T. Jones said earlier in the week that Menage, now feeling healthy, was really chomping at the bit to get after and practice after his big game last Saturday. And obviously just made a huge play there, but something to watch for. Once he made that catch, he came over to the sidelines, and they immediately started stretching out his calves and his hamstrings. Maybe tightened up a little bit like Emery talked about with the cold weather, but certainly something I will monitor from the sideline here.
Bailey, 2 catches, 64 yards. Had a big season last year at 37 catches, 6 touchdowns a year ago. The Hornets with the completion. Trey Gross with the catch. Gross with a pickup of 13 yards and a first down for Delaware State.
6'4" sophomore right there, just shaking off the defender. But on the short tackling, Dante Small wasn't able to bring him down there. A great play by Gross.
Gross's first catch of the game, 28th of the season. Backwards pass. Ali, and incomplete. There's Bailey being worked on the sidelines, working on that calf. Nagging injuries all year for Bailey.
You see the cramp right there, man. That is not a good feeling. If you haven't had a body cramp or a cramp like an athletic cramp like that before, it's one of the worst feelings in the world.
9-yard loss on that last play. 2nd and 18. 35 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Black, quick release, has the completion to Colley.
That should be the last play of this quarter. We get into 20 seconds here.
Delaware State down 9-0. A 2-game win streak. They haven't won on the road since 2014. 27 straight road losses for the Hornets. And that'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We're heading to the 4th quarter. The Bears hoping to hold on to a 9-0 lead. 4th quarter coming up from Baltimore, Maryland on the Sports Fever Television Network.
Your team, your card. Get yours at discover.com/NHL.
Time for the 4th quarter here at Morgan State at Hughes Stadium. The Bears up 9-0.
At the 36-yard line.
3rd down for Delaware State. Black scans the field. He's going to run. And out of bounds at the 44, and there's a penalty marker down in the backfield.
Yeah, they're going to get the left tackle, I believe, or the tight end for holding there. And they had good protection, so they really didn't have to hold, but once Black vacated the pocket, yeah, they caught number 75 right there on the hold. Savion Hopes, the sophomore, see it on the left side of your screen. Once he beat him, he should just let him go, but you saw him pull down the defender. A.J. Alvarez, and the ref standing right there is going to see it every time.
All right, that was the
Third
purple marching
down,
machine.
and a long way to go for Delaware
Miles
State.
College,
This is not the
Albert
down
J.
distance
Sloan Alumni
you would
Stadium.
want.
We'll take a break and come right back. Get you ready
Get the
for the
ball.
second half.
About
And the
the
score is tied at
40-yard line
7-7
for a
between Fort
first
Valley
down.
State and Miles. They're watching SIAC football on Flow Sports.
Oregon State could dial up some pressure if they'd like. On this 3rd and 23. Pass incomplete.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
17-16.
And And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Hesitation fake right there.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. For 2 on his assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
An injured Bear player.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. For 2 on his assist. Nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
10 for Morgan State.
Welcome back to Fairfield, Alabama. Albert J. Sloan Alumni Stadium.
Pass incomplete.
Right now at halftime of the Prince Hall Americanism Football Classic.
Looking for White.
Fort Valley State and Miles are tied at 7. I'm Kamari Darrington here up top of press box here at the stadium as we take a look at the first half stats. It was a very even game, although Fort Valley State has the edge in total offense, 22 to 69. Fort Valley State with 10 first downs. Miles College with just 5.
3rd and 10.
Each team has some turnovers. Of course, Fort Valley State with 2 turnovers. Miles College just the 1 turnover. Right now, Slade German, 9 of 14, 75 yards and a touchdown. Does have an interception. Jamar Clark leading the way in the ground game, 6 carries for 28 yards.
There they are.
Ryan Anderson's 23 yards on the 1 reception. A.J. Shippen has 3 receptions for 8 yards.
Fresh legs. Came
for the Fort Valley State defense, Forrest Bryant leading the way with 5 tackles and a sack. Also 2 tackles for loss. Eagle Wiggum had a chance for a couple of interceptions, but he has 2 tackles as well for Fort Valley State. For Miles College individually. Daniel Smith, 5 of 9 for 47 yards.
Joshua Chase, 75-yard touchdown, and then
Daniel Smith
Alex Ray
also
had the field goal. That's the scoring for Morgan State.
21 yards on 7 carries. Santee Marshall with just 1 net yard on his 3 carries. In the receiving battle, Anthony Robinson and Leonard Tyree each had 2 receptions in the first half. Robinson leading the way with 22 receiving yards. On the defensive side, Austin Stevens, as he's done the first 2 games, he has really been a tackling machine. 8 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Gregory Matthews also had a pretty good first half. He has 4 tackles for the Miles College defense. Scoring summary, of course,
crew and also
Austin Stevens with a 5-yard fumble recovery touchdown.
Windy
off the
game,
fumble
Baltimore.
from
Winds
Jarman,
gusting about
2
40 miles an hour.
State. Jarman came down midway through the second quarter with an 8-yard touchdown pass to Jamar Clark.
20-yard line inside the 20.
Tied at 7. Time of possession with Fort Valley State's way, 20 minutes and 19 seconds.
Delta Hotel by Marriott, Baltimore, Hunt Valley, the Maryland and Mid-Atlantic region lodging headquarters destination for visiting college football teams and fans right off Interstate 83. The Delta Hotels by Marriott, Baltimore's Hunt Valley has everything you need and more. Call today and book your reservations today.
Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch it, shortstop. Gross.
Delaware State
the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
First and 10 for the Hornets from the 18.
Just about all Wayne Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
Yep. Ravel on one side and on the other side small. Two very good corners for the Morgan State Bears defense.
As we had set for the
Black
second
pass,
half,
incomplete.
Fort Valley State receiving.
In and out of the hands of Hannon.
After Miles got
Another
the ball
one
to
that
start the game.
We've seen it on both sides. Some wide receiver drops here today.
Had he just continued to run, he was wide open. They had him right down the seam. He tried to slow down the minute. That reception, Jordan Hanna has to just keep running. He's going to walk into the end zone. That was a huge play opportunity that was missed by Delaware State.
Run towards that showdown with Tuskegee
Hanna
last
from
weekend
Brooklyn,
of the season.
New York.
And Fort Valley State
High School.
with Morehouse playing so well.
Third down, Black being chased.
Speaking of Morehouse, it is up
Tries to set up the screen, and it was incomplete.
on Central State in the fourth quarter.
Morgan State's defense was all over it. Whitaker causing all kinds of havoc.
As quarterback, he's got
McBurrow,
227
Whitaker, and Kennedy, you said it before, those three linebackers, so good.
If they don't make all conference, I would be highly disappointed.
Smothers looking
Not just one of them,
doesn't
all three of them.
Like the old dome patrol of the New Orleans Saints, all three guys have to go. These guys are just excellent defenders on both ends of
Fort
the
Valley State will start his first possession of the
Romo
second
Martinez
half.
will punt the football back to Morgan State.
So Jarman back out on the field.
It's been a defensive game.
Going 9 for 14 in that first half. Fort Valley State really in that second quarter found some.
William King will pick it up at the 30 on the return.
Defense for Miles. Miles got a terrific
And he
start.
is stopped
That 3 and out.
at the 31-yard line after the 52-yard punt. And there is Rico Kennedy. The sidelines.
Gets it.
Rico.
3 receivers set to
50
start things off there.
8 tackles
Jordan
for a
in the
loss.
backfield.
3.5 sacks. Has a
Fort
sack
Valley State.
today.
Round
Rico
at the bottom.
Kennedy.
Back and Smothers at the
Redshirt
top.
junior.
First play of the second
Outstanding defensive game. If you're a fan of defense, you're probably enjoying this.
It's a handoff.
Offense, not
Smothers
much
with a lot
of
of
it.
room to run. Gets around the edge and gets all the way out to midfield.
21 seconds left in the game.
Finally tackled by Floyd, but not before Smothers picks up
chip away at
17 yards and the first down.
It all falls on that offensive line getting moving.
Morgan has
Fort Valley
managed
State off to a
301
terrific
yards of
start.
total offense through 3 quarters here.
And Clark in the backfield. So Smothers getting another touch and making things happen.
So 301 of total offense for Morgan State, 143 total offense for Delaware State.
This time they'll go to
Delaware State with
the
no
option, and
points.
Jarman has room to run again. He slides
Morgan
down
State with
to the
a
40-yard
touchdown
line.
and a
So
field goal.
Jarman,
They're scoring.
so back-to-back
And
running
not out of
plays.
this football game is all about making 2 plays. They just need 2
30
plays
yards
to
as
get
he
right
gets
back
out
in.
to
And
the
one will get them really back in. And the
41-yard
second
line.
will
That's
give them the
9
lead.
on that play.
Watt has the completion. Good to see the freshman
Again,
back
Fort
who
Valley
was
State
injured
moving
on the
the ball
sidelines, but
into Miles
Xavier
territory.
Gravette is back, and he makes that catch.
Nice reception right there. Then the wherewithal to get back upfield and not go out of bounds and just keep this clock moving. And again, he recognizes the situation and understands that his team is in the lead.
3 on
And
the
they're
play
trying to
clock.
slowly
Second and a yard. And here's Smothers.
and take
Get
the
the
air out
first
of the
down.
football.
6
Tries
yard
to get all the
gain.
way to the
Gravette's
outside.
second catch
He's finally
of the
tackled
game.
as he
Third
gets to
down
the
and short here
35-yard line.
for the Morgan State Bears.
That's 6 more yards for Smothers.
Fresh legs in the game and a good run there.
Another first down.
Adelaide.
with the carry.
David Adeleke comes
Miles,
back in the
35-yard
game.
line.
Fresh legs. We hadn't seen him a lot this season, but you talk about a guy that's able to find the cutback lane
Clark in
and
the backfield
explode
again,
upfield. So
from the pistol.
when your number is called, you just have to find ways to be successful, and that's what you want your guys to do. Hey, you may not be the
State
starter,
first
you may
drive
not
of the
even
second
be the
half,
second string
looking to
guy,
take
but
its
when
first
we
lead
call
of the
your
game.
number, you better be ready
First lead of the season.
He's been able to answer the call so far in this game.
Adelic with a 19-yard pickup on that last carry.
On the option, he'll keep it again.
First and 10 from Morgan State in the Hornet territory. Roulette will keep it himself. Has running room, spins across the 35-yard line and down to the 34.
And 8.
I love that quarterback power because it's allowing you to have an advantage numbers-wise against the defense. You just bring the lineman around the formation and have your quarterback read and follow. He was able to read that block, cut back off of him, and found a nice little lane within the defense.
So 9-yard pickup, 2nd and 1 coming up for Ernest T. Jones Bears.
Valley State's running game has really taken off since the start of the second quarter.
Handoff again. Adelic and maybe loses a yard.
Shipman has room to run. Breaks to the hole. Gets inside the 25. Still driving. He's hard to bring down. Look at Shipman move the pile all the way inside the 20. There's a flag. As bodies pile up, all 22 right in the middle of the screen right there.
See right here on the replay.
Shipman fighting for extra yards.
6th penalty of the game for Morgan State.
Gets all the way to the 20. We'll see what the flag is all about.
Delaware State has 6 penalties as well.
What a play
penalties
by
are even at 6
Shipman,
apiece.
who has been really a spark.
There's Coach Rod Melstead. First year at his alma mater.
So no flag on the play.
Taking over.
Shipman.
It's a standout offensive line from the Hornets from 1988 to 1991.
Line, so again,
before
Valley State in the red zone
in the National Football League.
He's got an injured player.
3rd and 11.
As Jalen Thomas.
2nd and 11, I should say, for Morgan State.
So left defensive end.
Fresh legs continue to pay off.
Work on him. We'll take a short break and come right back.
Again, you get a guy that they haven't really used all season. And a 19-yard pickup again. That's what you get done, right? When you have
just not all Wayne Jones County. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Klinsky. There is a shot towards deep short. Perhaps got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
With a 9-0 lead. Straight ahead.
Jim Thomas, the injured Bear, able to get up now.
In Hornet territory.
He's going to jog off. Junior from Sylacauga, Alabama.
A lot of time left on that clock, and with a 9-0 lead, that, as you said, a play or two and you're back into the game. But if you get a score here, that will really help Morgan State's case of getting their 3rd win of the season.
Valley State really starting this play at its own
in a tough spot for Delaware State.
19-yard line. Shipman with a 14-yard run.
Lott rolls out, fires, and incomplete. Goes far sideline.
Others now in motion.
Was looking for Corey Holmes.
Clark is bottled up early. Stevens first man there.
Ball short of Holmes.
Great defensive play right there.
Shelton has been all over the field also.
At the Hornets' 24-yard line.
Making it a tough throw. That pass was open initially.
You got a yard.
I felt as though the Lott waited a little bit too long to make that throw. In that situation, when you're going against the wind on a
6 plays on 7th play of the drive, all 6 have been runs.
But because he waited a little bit too late, he allowed the defensive back to get back into
here
the play
in the third
make
quarter.
that a tighter throw.
Now flip to Smothers, and a flag is down as
from 24.
Smothers is tackled by Walker.
Morgan State.
Looks like we will have perhaps a hold or an illegal block.
Penalty marker for delay of game. It's happened a couple of times today to the Bears. That's not going to make Ernest T. Jones happy.
It's upset. He's on the quarterback, man. Look at the clock. You're staring right at it. It's right in front of you. Those type of pre-snap penalties shouldn't happen, especially when you're playing with tight end. There's no reason why you shouldn't see a play clock.
3rd down to 15.
That moves it back 5 yards. 3rd and 15 now for the Bears.
The Hornets' 29-yard line.
Brings it all the way back to the 27-yard line.
There is that play clock right in front of the quarterback. He's got to keep his eye on that. Goes to 0, you get penalized 5 yards. Throws the ball up, nearly intercepted. Looking for Gravett, the freshman, and almost picked off by Smith. 4th down coming up now for the Morgan State Bears.
So So it's a good stop right here by Delaware State. Nearly had the turnover, which would have been huge. But to hold this team to a field goal attempt is a win, in my opinion, if you're the Hornets.
They're going to try to pooch punt it again with O'Shea in to do the pooch punting.
20.
Nicholas O'Shea, the punter from Detroit, Michigan for Morgan State.
Get close to the end zone, except for the one possession.
Pooch punt.
Done something to knock it
Ball
back.
bounces at the 5-yard line and touched there, and that's where
18.
Delaware State will have it at the 6.
Down to the 9-yard line.
7:47 to go, and Morgan State with a 9-0 lead, fourth quarter.
Sun continues a descent. We're both
Delaware State's only
time,
generated 143 yards of total offense, and they start being down 9-0 from their own 6-yard line.
That was a shift.
Run straight ahead, nowhere to go there. Stopped by Rico Kennedy again on Bryson Ali's run. Let's head down to the field to Jeff Jajeski. Jeff?
Well, Phil, a couple things to note here with time ticking down for Delaware State. Earlier this week, Rod Milstead said he wanted to get Gross and Selby more involved, get them catches. He said they work so hard in practice that he wants them to translate that to the game. So we'll see if with time ticking down that happens here. And on the defensive side for Morgan State, Ian McBrough stretching out that groin on the sideline. Keep an eye on him, see if he's able to move like he normally is.
Some yards to
Thanks, Jeff. Selby with 2 catches for 50 yards. Gross 1 catch for 14 yards today for Delaware State.
Inside the 20.
Naleen straight ahead.
Or perhaps
short
you feel
of the first
you
down.
Get someone going deep. We've seen that a couple of times today. Receivers haven't gotten open.
Aline, 16 attempts.
Jarman looks to throw.
37 yards today.
Running out of time. Now he's going to run for it. He's not going to get it. He'll be dragged down from behind by Shelton.
Team that's number 2 in the MEAC.
7 yards on the play for Jarman, but it will be a turnover on downs.
3rd and 2.
And Miles will take over. First down.
High snap
at its own 20-yard line.
Gets the ball out of the backfield and the completion to Williams.
And he gets the ball with
Williams down the sidelines, has the first down for Delaware State. Isaiah Williams with his second catch of the game and a 15-yard pickup.
He was open earlier in the first half on that touchdown that got called back.
But decided to just run the clock out in the first half.
They're finding ways to get different guys to football, and the tight end position is the one that's not used a lot in Delaware State's offense, but finding ways to move the football down the field, you have to get all your eyes on the ball. So just a great job right there by Isaiah Williams, getting open, catching the football, and getting upfield.
The 29-yard line.
10 on the 27 after that 15-yard pass play from McDaniels to Williams.
Robinson. Second down and 6 from the 29-yard line.
Back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gains a yard or 2.
Marshall again in the backfield. Smith.
Crane makes the stop.
Smith
bring up a
Marshall, and he is rocked.
There's an injured player down on the field.
Aaron Dorr came up and closed the door on Santee Marshall before he could even get started.
A.J. Agbalise is the injured
Marshall will
Morgan
lose
State
yardage.
Bear down.
Back to the 19-yard line.
Defensive end. The injured Bear.
A loss of 5. It'll be 3rd down.
Defense too. He's been playing some really good football this season
and 11.
as a senior.
And we get to the 34 first down.
5:50 remain here in the fourth quarter.
Smith looking to throw, going deep, trying to hit Lee, and that pass incomplete. Good
coverage
of
the season. That would match
Prather.
Their most wins this season
done a good job on that far side.
2016.
So the incomplete pass, and it looks like it's going to be a 3 and out.
This is a once proud program, and eventually they'll get it going once again. When you said that this would match their win total.
The last time they won 3 games in a season was in 2016.
It just seems like
for offside.
That was ages ago.
So that goes against Fort Valley State.
They were in the playoffs, playing a home game here against.
Now it'll be 3rd down and 6.
2nd and 8. Black pass over the head of Colley and incomplete. We noticed that in the game against Howard. Black,
9 minutes to play.
A lot of his passes, remember, were high in that game.
Exactly.
A lot of his passes were sailing over the head
Smith, again,
of the wide receivers, and that's been the case here today, this afternoon against Morgan State.
That was a good tackle that time by
Coach Milstead.
Be 4th down.
Sideline. Milstead, Rod's, he's a Delaware State guy. He's going to get things going. Pass over the middle, the completion to Williams. And that's a first down.
With the reception.
And that's made by Whitaker.
That's a play they utilized for the touchdown that was called back. We knew they were going to go back to it because he was wide open on that particular play.
Comes in.
He comes back to it once again. He's wide open over the middle of the field. And you know what? He's starting to make himself into a target for this offense.
11-yard pickup on the Williams catch. First and 10. Here comes pressure. Black is sacked.
Snap. And
Morgan State Bears have gotten to the quarterback a couple of times. Third sack of the game.
Pound goes out of bounds at the Miles 32-yard line.
Comes in and makes the sack.
5-yard punt.
This team's second in the MEAC in sacks. They like to get after the quarterback and another injured player. This time a Delaware State player injured on the field.
Well, what a huge
26
penalty.
sacks now on the season by this Morgan State defense.
For leaping the shield in front of
Molly, the
Miles
injured player.
punter. And so that'll be another first down for Miles. So they had to stop. They had
here
the
for
punt.
Ernest T. Jones.
And now Fort Valley State is back out on the offense. Sorry, Miles is back out on offense. The ball go all the way out to the 42-yard line. So that was a big play on first down. On the fourth down. From the 32-yard line. Three receivers.
11-yard pickup on the Williams catch.
Mays.
First and 10. Here comes pressure. Black is sacked. Morgan State Bears have gotten to the quarterback a couple of times. Third sack of the game.
8 yards. Marking it.
Thompson comes in and makes the sack.
49-yard line.
His team's second in the MEAC in sacks. They like to get after the quarterback and another injured player. This time a Delaware State player injured on the field.
Getting Mays in the backfield with Smith. Smith changed the play. 7:30 left here in the third quarter.
26 sacks now on the season.
He's a junior from
this Morgan State defense. R.J. Molly.
Smith looking to throw and
injured
going
player.
deep. Has a man open. It's Tyree. He's got it inside the 20, and he will go into the end zone for the Miles touchdown.
Here for Ernest T. Jones.
51 yards. Leonard Tyree gets deep.
Have not won at home this season.
And Miles regains the lead.
This year on the road. The big one at North Carolina A&T that opened a lot of eyes. Then a win at Savannah State. But they have not won in front of their
6 more points
home
for the
crowd here
Bears.
at Hughes
Takes the
Stadium
second
this
lead
year.
of the game at 13-7, 7:15 to
They've
play.
had their opportunities. And
So
that's
Tyree
just a
got
mark of
behind the
team that's
defense.
knocking on the door. They're going to get it turned around, like I said before.
And Brady Hamill will try the extra
point.
point.
Foundation, run game, and defense. That's going to keep you in a lot
Third
of ball
touchdown
games.
pass
Help
the
you win
season
some.
for
Special teams help them win the big
Smith.
one against A&T. So
And the extra
if they
point
just get
is
the balance
up,
on offensive
and it is
passing
no
game, this team will
good.
be
So
right back at the top of the MEAC
Hamill
as far as
misses
competing for
an extra point for the first time this season.
Second and 13.
And it's
Bears
still
showing
13-7 Miles on top of Fort Valley State.
Black fires incomplete. Was looking for Selby.
That drive went 7 plays.
Yeah, you can tell it's a windy day where
Ended up
you're
going 80
showing
yards
routine
before the 51-yard touchdown reception
that are out
by
to the
Leonard
flat
Tyree.
are
His third
tough to
touchdown
complete.
catch of
Everything
the
that has to
season.
be complete or will be
Came in
completed
third
is
in the
gonna have to
SIAC.
short and over the middle of the
133
field.
receiving yards. He had added 51 on that
Because
pass
anything that's
play.
going wide outside the winning going to be able to take
Miles having
take advantage
issues with
and
the
take
extra
it up a
point
little
that
bit
time.
and take it away
First time
from where
that
it needs to
Hamill's
be.
missed this season, the junior from Navarre,
Third
Florida.
and 13.
So that point might come to haunt
For
Miles
Delaware
College
State.
here late in the game. But right now, Miles leading by 6.
6 of 17 on third downs.
Miles will kick off.
Wide open.
Fort Valley State
Wow,
going back to
that
receive
would have
the kick.
been a
Hands back there
touchdown.
along with
Woodward was
Smothers.
wide open with no one around him. Woodward was so wide open in the middle of the field. Black just missed him.
Just missed him, and again, over the middle of the field, and he had it just outside.
Great crowd on hand
of his
here in Fairfield.
sweatpants, and no one was back deep.
Prince
Again,
Hall
Morgan State's
Americanism
been playing
Football
aggressive
Classic during
defense the
halftime.
entire
Prince
game
Hall
with no
Masons
safeties
here in
back deep,
Fairfield
so he
presented
will
a
still be
$10,000
running
check to
had
Miles
that ball
College.
been completed.
Here's
That's
the
the
kick.
break they needed to
And over
really
in,
jump
and
back
it comes
into
down
this ball
inside
game.
the
Now
20.
they find
McCants will
themselves
take it
punting
from the 19.
State.
Tries to get to the outside.
Said,
Gets a
we
block.
could have that one back.
And
And
he's
Black
all
could
the
have made
way
that
across the
completion
40 to the 43-yard
to Woodward.
line, but a
That would
flag
have
comes
been
in late. And this might
the
be
first
coming back.
touchdown of the game for Delaware State.
That'll be about a 24, 25-yard return.
Kick over Carl Garnes' head.
Might be a block against Fort Valley State.
Down to the 10-yard line.
Albany State right now with a 14-10 lead on West Georgia.
So a short return by Garnes on the 58-yard punt by Romo Martinez.
Getting the better of it at this point.
Oh, Garnes making an appearance.
And has struggled against
Morgan State game.
Gulf South Conference so far this year.
Here's the situation here for Morgan State. 4 minutes, 28 seconds left in the ball game. You got a 9-point lead. You want to at least flip field position on this drive, taking away at least 3.5 minutes off the clock.
First down for Fort Valley State with 7:04 to play here in the third quarter.
1st and 10 from the 9.
Fort Valley State again with the penalty.
Continue to run the fresh legs. Delegate.
Morehouse still up 41-14.
Already 50
Central
yards
State.
and 6 carries. Those fresh legs have paid off.
You don't see the offensive line giving up either. They're still in tune to what's going
Wildcats
on.
were 1st and 10 at the 22.
They're playing as aggressive as they did in the beginning of the game, which is what you want to see from your offensive front.
4 receivers set.
2nd and 7.
Smothers in motion. Handoff goes. There's a fake and a throw over the middle, and the pass is incomplete. And Rodney Coleman almost had an interception.
Delegate stopped by Neubauer. Neubauer, the
Smothers
junior
is down.
from
There's a
Central
flag
Gulf
on
East,
the play.
the
Looked like Smothers.
Defensive Player of the Week of the MEAC, and a timeout on the field with
hard shot.
3:43 to go. We'll step aside. Morgan State trying to hold on to a 9-0 lead over Delaware State.
Intended target. And it's going to be a late hit against Miles. And that might be a targeting foul. It's going to be a first down for Fort Valley State. Fans aren't happy about it, but that's definitely a late hit. So Mac will come to the sideline.
I am never going to leave this.
Mac might not play the rest of the game. He might have to go through that concussion protocol after that last hit by Miles. So it comes up to the 37-yard line.
Okay. Oh, no, Dad, I need your help.
What have you done?
Burnt the duck.
That's a duck? What do you have in that cabinet?
Some spaghetti.
Okay, chop up some garlic. Your mom cooked duck for me once.
Did she burn it?
Of course she did.
Of course she did.
Jordan.
Now it's beautiful. There you go.
And he'll be
How do I
wrapped
look?
up. Perfect. About a 2-yard gain to the 39-yard line.
Dad. Alexa, hang up.
They use as much clock as possible before they snap this football.
Clark in the backfield.
15 seconds on the play clock.
Move this rushing offense along in the right direction. It's
a heady football
so far
right
today. Evening turns to night.
Allen back to receive the punt for the Hornets at the 45.
2nd and 8,
Morgan
6:25 to play here in the third quarter.
Timeout.
6-point lead for Miles. Jarman fakes the
Morgan State let the play clock run down.
Handoff and then throws this side complete to Smothers. And Smothers has it down to the 27-yard, down to the 42-yard line. Tackle made by Wells.
Morgan State will finish their 2018
Good for 3
season
yards.
next week on the road. They're in Norfolk State.
Bring up third down.
Delaware State will take on Virginia University Lynchburg.
Looks like we're gonna
next week, the final week of the regular season in the MEAC.
Miles again.
Of course, the Celebration Bowl coming up in a couple of weeks in Atlanta, Georgia. Who's it going to be? The winner of the MEAC against the winner of the SWAC.
Still up in the air.
Get right back on the field.
Again, you have a lot of teams still vying for that. A&T still in it. FAMU is still in it. And the SWAC, on the SWAC side, you have Southern.
Coming up next week.
Alcorn State. And their ground game is still in it.
So actually 3 games next week. Central State will be at Kentucky State at 2 o'clock Central Time.
So far in the last
3 o'clock
seasons
Eastern
of Celebration Bowl, it's been
they also have coverage of the Chicago Football Classic.
You have a lot of
this Miles College team goes up to the Windy City to take on
Norfolk State has a 22-17 lead over Howard with 9:40 to go in that game.
That'll be at 4:30 Eastern Time, 3:30 Central.
Hope that they could have an opportunity
continue the
and a chance
weekend
at the
next
Celebration
Sunday.
Bowl, but
Palmetto Capital City Classic.
Lost there will really put FAMU in control.
Travels
O'Shea 17-yard
Columbia, South
punt.
Carolina to take on Benedict.
Delaware State will have the football
4:30 p.m. Eastern
at
Time.
the Bears' 30-yard line.
3 games being
streamed.
And
that 17-yard punt is not because he's not a good punter. That ball literally died
the SIAC
mid-air
continued
because of this stiff wind that's blowing directly in his face. So
over the middle after play fake, and
that's why you have great defensive stops if you're Delaware State, because it puts you in a situation where you're at the 30-yard line.
For Smothers,
you're down 9. You had 2 timeouts. You get a quick score here. You're right back in this ball game, despite being 2.5 minutes away from it being over.
See what the Hornets could do. 2:30 to go.
Burn back, second punt tonight.
Looking for
back
some
deep is Tyree.
offensive points.
Touchdown reception.
The Bears bring the pressure and another sack. Rico Kennedy. Who else?
That's a big play right there by Morgan State. He came blitzing off the edge, didn't allow him to set up in the pocket. He had the guy in the flat, but Rico Kennedy just came in there too fast
to
where Black couldn't dip underneath him and got him there on the ground for the sack.
Started next possession following this 51-yard reception by Tyree.
Kennedy was 6
to give Miles
tackles today.
a 6-point lead. 5:28 to play here in the third quarter.
There's the completion.
Great to have you with us.
Trey Gross. Small and covered makes the stop.
And what a great tackle by Dante Small. Just breaking him down inbounds, and so that way he couldn't stop the clock, and he keeps this
week
clock
before the SIAC championship.
Just 2 big
West Division champion will get to host it. As the East champion got to host it last year, then East champion was Fort Valley State.
Sets up the screen.
Right now, both teams 0-2 looking for a win.
He's tackled at the 20-yard line.
As Campbell goes in motion. And
nice first down.
Gets a handoff to Marshall, but then Marshall quickly wrapped up.
Moves the sticks again. Clock is a factor now for the Hornets, down 9-0. 1:20 to go in the game.
Fort Valley State.
1st and 10 for the 20.
Sorry, Patterson, sophomore from Cairo, Georgia, with that
Hornets
play.
offense.
Lost of 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Incomplete. Was looking for Selby.
And 13.
Black's pass was incomplete.
On coverage was DJ Johnson.
Number 12,
Mays in the backfield.
So it's 2nd down and 10.
Stops the clock with 1:07 to go, and a 2nd down for the Hornets.
At the 20-yard line.
Smith off the play fake.
Ernest T.
Going
Jones
deep downfield, looking for
his
Tyree
third
again.
win
He's got it. 40, 30, and he's finally dragged down at the 20-yard line.
Snap a 3-game
They will mark it
streak.
at the 19-yard line. That one good for 46 yards to Tyree.
Incomplete. Was looking for
97
Colley.
yards on 2 receptions here in the second half.
Trey Lavelle. Lavelle was there again.
Tyree and Smith hook up for the second time for a big play from the 19-yard line.
Good stop right here. It's a big play here for Delaware State. 3rd and 10.
1:03
and
to
off
go.
to Mays. Mays tries the right side. Gets tripped up as he gets down to the 18-yard line. So a 1-yard pickup
Black
for Mays.
drops the football and falls on it. The snap came back. Black didn't have it, and Morgan State does. Morgan State recovers the fumble.
And the 3:45 to play.
A.J. Agbalis
3-receiver set from out.
recovers the fumble, and Morgan State is going to have their first win of the season at home and their 3rd of the season. Agbalis picks up the fumble.
And what a job by Agbalis, who just walked off with the injury, came back on the field. The senior closing out the game, his last home game as a Morgan State Bear. Excellent way to cap off
action.
his career
Smith rolls to
at
his
home.
left, has a man open, and
senior day for the seniors of Morgan State.
Colin Hudson, junior from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Emory Hudson. Emory, you should have that coat right there.
Well, I am freezing up here in the press box.
There you go.
The broadcast booth, I'm sorry.
This weekend.
I'm just going to call it the roof.
There was a couple of games in the SIAC canceled due to the storm.
Okay, carry.
You see us up here like we're literally fighting the elements.
Third down is where we're at.
So we're not playing. We're out there just like the players up here in the catbird seat, fighting the wind and the cold.
Mr. Mataraki, you okay? My spotter over here, just wearing a fleece. He's really tough.
Miles just got the timeout.
course, the camera guys up here getting their exercise in, running in place most of the game.
Clock expired for the delayed game, so a big third down coming up here.
In November in Baltimore.
A
good day for the Bears. They get a touchdown by Joshua Chase from 75 yards out and a field goal
Livingston out of North Carolina.
By Alex Ray, and they're going to get their third win of the season.
Benedict at
the Morgan State Bears. Now 3-7 on the season. Dealt this Delaware State falls to 2-8
later down the road.
And Morgan State gets the win, 9-0 over Delaware State. For my partner Emery Hunt, Mike Mataraki, my spotter, the entire Sports Fever Television Network crew.
It has a 13-7 lead on Fort Valley State.
Baltimore, Maryland. Morgan State Bears win it 9-0.
By Leonard Tyree on the last possession. Tyree has all 3 touchdowns. Play fake. Going for Tyree again. He has got it. Out of bounds. Tyree made the catch, but could not keep 1 foot in bound. And so we will have the field goal unit come out for Miles. So it'll be a 35-yard attempt from Jackson Spradlin. Here's the kick. And over in, and he did not make it wide to the right. So a missed field goal for Miles. Missing 35 yards out, so the score remains Miles 13, Fort Valley State 7. So Fort Valley State will take over at its own 20 with 3:08 to play here in the third quarter. No time ran off the clock on that field goal. Well, the play started with 3 minutes and 8 seconds left. In any event, Fort Valley State will have the ball. Fort Valley State did outgain Miles in the first half, 122 to 69. It's been a struggle for the most part. Third possession of the second half for Fort Valley. Flip to Smothers, gets around Shelton, and cuts it upfield. And Smothers almost broke another tackle. Coleman finally brings him down at the 26-yard line. 6 more yards for Smothers. Bring up second down and 6. Second down and 4. Brian Anderson coming into the backfield for the first time.